Chapter 504. The 9-Story Black Tower, Magic Jade Tower Master. Please subscribe. Magic Jade Tower, a mysterious force beyond the universe. According to the intention of the Xiaqin Supreme Being, the master of the Magic Jade Tower suddenly vanished in the distant past. The many members of the Magic Jade Tower also vanished without a trace. The body of that Supreme Being that drifted in from outside the universe should be a member of the Magic Jade Tower, otherwise, there would be no way for his body to contain evolution paths related to the Magic Jade Tower. The information Lin Yuan obtained from the Magic Jade Mark indicated that the demonic jade space it connected to was specially opened by the master of the Magic Jade Tower for the members to undergo trials. Since it was a place for trial, there would undoubtedly be risks involved, and it would be easy to encounter mishaps if one wasn't at the 8th layer peak. Whoosh! A thread of Lin Yuan's spirit will, following the Magic Jade Mark, descended in a mysterious space. Is this the demonic jade space? Lin Yuan cautiously observed his surroundings. Am I descending as a projection of consciousness? Is my real body still on the Milky Way main star? Lin Yuan immediately confirmed his own state. Having experienced multiple journeys through the door to the myriad realms, Lin Yuan was familiar with this sensation. The difference was that when he arrived at various worlds through the door to the myriad realms, he couldn't feel the existence of his body in the main world at all. During the 8th traversal, he could perceive the tiny details around his body, which was thanks to the aid of the door to the myriad realms acting as a medium. But now, Lin Yuan was able to sense where his body was, albeit being incredibly distant, but it felt authentic and substantial. This demonic jade space must not be in the main world, but it should exist on the same latitude and in the same dimension, Lin Yuan deduced in his heart. If it were in a different latitude and dimension from the main world, he shouldn't be able to sense where his body was. If I want to return now, all I need to do is dissipate this thread of consciousness. Lin Yuan thought to himself. The Magic Jade Mark simply brought a thread of spirit will here, while the main body of the spirit will remain within his body. The current state of Lin Yuan was similar to a consciousness projection. A projection of consciousness? The only powers I can use now are my understanding of rules and cosmic force? Lin Yuan's thoughts spread out as he looked around. What caught his eye was an expanse of vast white fog. Lin Yuan's mind was faintly drawn towards something to the front left. Is it telling me to go there? Lin Yuan thought for a moment. The pull was coming from the Magic Jade Mark. Without the Magic Jade Mark, even if he forcefully descended into this space, he wouldn't know which direction to head in. The white fog masked everything. Let's go. Lin Yuan didn't plan to wander blindly. Instead, he followed the guidance of the Magic Jade Mark and walked straight ahead. Although he did not know what level of strength the master of the Magic Jade Tower was, it was certain he wouldn't be weaker than a supreme being. It was safest to abide by the rules of a space created by such an existence. As for carving out a new path, that was the most foolish act. At the very moment when a thread of Lin Yuan's spirit will descended at the core of the demon jade space, in front of a 9-story high tower completely black in color, a humanoid stone statue suddenly opened its eyes and looked towards Lin Yuan, who was carefully approaching from afar. How many eons have passed? Has a Magic Jade Tower member finally entered this trial ground again? The statue watched Lin Yuan from a distance, feeling nostalgic. Once, our Magic Jade Tower was so flourishing, members would come for trials every moment. Now, to wait for just one member takes such a long time. The humanoid stone statue sighed. Master, just where have you gone? With your disappearance, does the Magic Jade Tower still need to exist? Milky Way main star. Lin Yuan's brow furrowed slightly. He could feel everything that the thread of spirit will that entered the demonic jade space encountered. Even as that thread of spirit will explored the demonic jade space, he could himself engage in practice and enlightenment of paths here. As an 8th layer evolver, doing multiple things at once was nothing out of the ordinary. Unless the incarnation formed by that thread of spirit will encounter something extremely important, most of his heart force would remain focused on his true body. I wonder if up to now, any human evolver has become an ordinary member of the Magic Jade Tower, Lin Yuan silently pondered. To thoroughly comprehend the 3,333 evolution paths is one thing, but over the years, perhaps some human evolver has managed to perfect and enhance an evolution path. This method of becoming an ordinary member of the Magic Jade Tower is much simpler than fully understanding the 3,333 evolution paths. And what about different species? Lin Yuan's brow furrowed slightly. Even the Peak clans, without the virtual world technology of humans, couldn't isolate the majority of the powerful influence of that severed body. Therefore, the Peak clans who contemplate that Supreme Being's body also have to bear great risks. But likewise, the greater the risk they bear, the bigger the variables could be. Perhaps some different species, who was exceptionally compatible with that severed body, could significantly accelerate their contemplation? Forget it. Right now, I should still focus on fully comprehending the 33,333 evolution paths as soon as possible. Lin Yuan split off another thread of consciousness and connected to the virtual world, sitting at the peak of a mountain, looking up at the severed body under the vast sky. Understanding 3,333 evolution paths would automatically make one an ordinary member of the Magic Jade Tower. Lin Yuan speculated that if he were to comprehend 33,333 evolution paths, his rank as an ordinary member of the Magic Jade Tower would very likely rise a notch. Although Lin Yuan didn't know what he would encounter inside the demonic jade space, having a higher rank as a member of the Magic Jade Tower certainly wouldn't be a bad thing. Of course, Lin Yuan's main concentration and heart force would still be devoted to the fusion of rules. Chapter 505, 9-Story Black Tower, Moyu Tower Master, requesting subscriptions, _2 Demon Jade Space. Guided by the Magic Jade Mark, Lin Yuan passed through layers of heavy mist and finally arrived in front of a gigantic 9-floor black tower. The 9-floor tower was grand and massive, entirely black, with a vaguely emanating aura that penetrated through several spatial layers. This tower, Lin Yuan felt his spirit will under immense pressure. The 9-floor tower matched the 9 floors dark tower from the Magic Jade Mark, but the former was countless times larger than the latter and emitted a pressure so intense that Lin Yuan felt like he was facing the Xia Qin Supreme Being again. Comparable to the pressure of a Supreme Being, could this tower rival a Supreme Being? Lin Yuan felt it was unbelievable. In the main world, Supreme Beings were the absolute synonyms for invincibility, dominating the vast starry sea. While Lin Yuan kept examining the 9-floor tower, a huge human-shaped stone statue slowly walked out. "Little guy, don't stare at the black tower for too long, it will have adverse effects on you," the stone statue spoke. Although Lin Yuan had never heard the language before, he somehow understood its meaning. "I have seen the elder," Lin Yuan immediately said humbly. The giant stone statue that appeared outside the black tower, sharing the same aura as the tower, clearly played a guardian role. It was likely greatly associated with the Demon Jade Tower, so it was only proper for Lin Yuan to respectfully address it as elder. "Ha ha," the stone statue laughed. "After so many years, to finally see a member of the Demon Jade Tower, at last someone to talk to." Lin Yuan murmured, his mind slightly stirred. From the stone statue's statement, he could infer a lot of information. For example, before Lin Yuan, the last member who had entered the Demon Jade space must have been very long ago. That is to say, currently, neither human civilization nor other peak different species had any clan members become ordinary members of the Demon Jade Tower. Although it might be possible for some to become ordinary members whose strength had not yet reached the 8th rank peak, hence afraid to enter the Demon Jade space, the probability was too small. Not everyone possessed against heaven's understanding like Lin Yuan. "My name is Shinji, little fellow, you can just call me by my name," the stone statue said smilingly, also examining Lin Yuan closely. "Did you become a regular member of the Demon Jade Tower by mastering over 3,333 demonic evolution paths? Your understanding is quite impressive." Stone statue Shinji's tone was tinged with surprise, as mastering over 3,333 demonic evolution paths was no easy feat, requiring much more time than perfecting a single demonic evolution path. Unless one had exceptional understanding, few beings chose this way to join the Demon Jade Tower. Similarly, such ordinary members were more valued by the Demon Jade Tower than those who perfected a certain demonic evolution path. Just by luck, Lin Yuan immediately responded. He simply felt that directly cultivating the evolution paths he had realized was too dangerous, and mastering multiple evolution paths could also enhance his foundation. Alright, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me, Stone Statue Xianxia said. He was quite pleased with Lin Yuan, primarily because after so many years, having a practitioner come along, he could have a conversation to relieve his boredom. Moreover, Lin Yuan's understanding was impressive. No matter how much time it took, 1,000,000 or even 10 million years, as long as he could comprehend all 3,333 demonic evolution paths, there was no question about his understanding. If his understanding was lacking, no amount of time would allow him to comprehend so many demonic evolution paths. Elder Xianxia, Lin Yuan thought for a moment before asking, "What about this trial? How should it be undergone?" Lin Yuan had only gathered simple information about entering the Demon Jade space and undergoing the trial to obtain corresponding rewards from his magic jade mark, but as for how to undergo the trial or what rewards to receive, he was not very clear. It's simple. See this 9-floor tower? Stone Statue Xianxia showed no impatience, explaining, "You can receive a great reward left by the demonic Jade Tower Master for every layer you conquer." A reward left by the demonic Jade Tower Master? Lin Yuan's mind stirred. "The higher the floor, the greater the reward," the stone statue added, "but don't get ahead of yourself. Normally for beings with rank as high as 8, just passing the first floor is almost impossible, and from the 7th floor onward, basically only 12th rank life forms can attempt it." 12th rank. Lin Yuan's heart skipped a beat. In the main world universe, 12th rank has many names. The ultimate being, or the supreme being. And according to the meaning of the stone statue Xianxia, even a supreme being only hopes to pass through the 7th layer. There is still the 8th layer and the 9th layer afterward. What specific rewards are there? Lin Yuan was curious in his heart. "That I do not know. The rewards left by the master are confidential, even I am not aware of them," stone statue Xianxia patiently said. For countless millennia, he had been so lonely that now, faced with a little 8th layer fellow, he almost answered any question asked. The grandiose entrance to the 9 floors dark tower. Stone statue Xianxia brought Lin Yuan here. Further ahead, they would enter the range of the first layer of the 9 floors dark tower. "Little guy, just keep walking straight ahead to that black staircase. Once you reach there, you would have passed the first layer, and what follows is the 2nd layer. Stone statue Xianxia spoke. The entrance to the 9 floors dark tower was hundreds of miles wide. Lin Yuan looked around, turned and asked Xianxia, "Senior Xianxia, what strength is required to pass the first layer?" Generally speaking, only a 9th rank life has hope to pass through the first layer. As for 8th rank life, it's also possible if one grasps the complete space rules. Stone statue Xianxia spoke gently. In his opinion, Lin Yuan had no hope of passing through the first layer, but as long as someone could keep him company to chat, that was enough. Lin Yuan is an ordinary member of the Demon Jade Tower, holding the magic jade mark, able to enter the Demon Jade space at any time. Grasping the complete space rules? Lin Yuan was secretly shocked. For an 8th rank life to grasp the complete space rules, that was much more difficult than becoming an invincible at 8th layer. In the main world universe Starry Sky, the number of invincibles at 8th layer is still some human civilization, other great peak clans, even powerful clans, ordinary clans. They all have invincibles at the 8th layer. But for the 8th layer to grasp the complete space rules? It has indeed occurred. But only through the long ages might such a person luckily be born. Of course, if you have deduced some kind of cosmic force and this cosmic force is strong enough, there's also hope of passing through the first layer, stone statue Xianxia added. By implication, ordinary cosmic force stands no chance in passing through the first layer. That's good, Lin Yuan said, feeling a bit of relief in his heart. If nothing else, he had plenty of cosmic force. Actually, during his 8th traversal, in his stay of 920 years in the spirit realm. If Lin Yuan hadn't spent a lot of time on comprehending the power of creation, he would probably have been able to grasp 7,782 core spatial models, mastering the complete space rules. But Lin Yuan never regretted his decision. Complete space rules? With Lin Yuan's understanding, as long as he had enough time, he would be able to grasp it. But the power of creation? Once out of the spirit realm, Lin Yuan couldn't think of the next time he would encounter such a world with no limits on cosmic force. It could take who knows how long. Go ahead. Stone statue Xianxia stood at the entrance and said, "Okay." Lin Yuan did not hesitate and directly entered the first layer of the 9 floors dark tower. Stone statue Xianxia watched Lin Yuan enter the black tower. Don't know how long he can last, but just being able to deduce 3,333 paths of evolutionary Dao to join the Demon Jade Pavilion, even with only 8th layer, there is hope of passing through the first layer, Stone statue Xianxia thought to himself, as the scene of the first layer of the Black Tower appeared in front of him. As the guardian of the 9 floors Dark Tower, Stone statue Xianxia had many rights to prevent the Demon Jade Tower's ordinary members from cheating during their training, such as using external force and so on. The master of the Demon Jade Tower created the space to cultivate members. If they used external force, it would lose the effect of the training. They would be driven out by Stone statue Xianxia, never to enter again. Chapter 506, Lin Yuan's Age. Please subscribe. 9 floors Dark Tower. First layer. Lin Yuan's figure appeared. All around was incredibly empty, with only a striking black staircase at the center. Lin Yuan understood that only by reaching the black staircase would he have passed the first layer of the Dark Tower. Along the black staircase, one could also enter the second layer. After thinking for a moment, Lin Yuan took big steps toward the central black staircase. The next moment, a massive pressure enveloped him from all directions. Lin Yuan felt his spirit will begin to crumble. The intangible and formless pressure almost tore him apart. I now have no physical body and not even the power of the soul. To resist this pressure, I can only rely on an understanding of the laws or cosmic force. Lin Yuan thought to himself and tried to operate the space rules to compress the space around him, but regrettably his understanding of the space rules was limited, and soon the intangible pressure penetrated the space and descended upon him again. No wonder Senior Xianxia said that one must at least master the complete space rules to pass the first layer. Lin Yuan thought to himself that only with complete mastery of space, allowing him to freely stretch or shorten the length of space, could any attack from the external world hardly reach him. It's too difficult for an 8th layer being to surpass the first layer. The stone statue Xianxia watched Lin Yuan's scene within the tower. The master initially decreed that one could enter here for experience at the peak of the 8th layer. But among 10,000 or 1,000,000 at the peak of the 8th layer, perhaps only one might surpass the first layer. As Lin Yuan operated the space rules, the stone statue Xianxia knew that the other party had not mastered the complete space rules. Under such circumstances, the chance of passing the first layer of the Dark Tower decreased further. Cosmic force? This young one really possesses a type of cosmic force. The stone statue Xianxia watched with great interest. This cosmic force, where yin and yang integrate, is it a higher cosmic force? And cultivated to the 3rd realm? Interesting. But just these alone will still make it very difficult to pass the first layer. The stone statue Xianxia deduced inwardly, but at this moment, his interest had already been piqued. Possessing a type of high cosmic force cultivated to the 3rd realm, Lin Yuan could at least last a very long time on the first layer. Dark Tower's first layer. Lin Yuan realized that the space rules could not withstand the thick pressure enveloping from all around. Without hesitating, he activated the Taiji force. The yin-yang Taiji power formed a barrier on the surface of his body, blocking all the pressure outside. Finally stabilized. Lin Yuan breathed a slight sigh of relief internally. He was indeed afraid that he couldn't even surpass the first layer. Though with the magic jade mark, Lin Yuan had unlimited chances to try again, but if he couldn't pass the first layer from the start, one can imagine the difficulty of the subsequent layers. The trials within the Dark Tower can only rely on oneself either to master the complete space rules or other foundational rules, or to amass sufficiently powerful cosmic force. Lin Yuan concluded. What he didn't know, however, was that there was a third method, which was to utilize external help. Some specific treasures that could be brought into one's spirit will, were permitted, but the Moyu Tower Master detested the reliance on external help during training, specifically assigning stone statue Shinji to monitor the process. Lin Yuan continued walking toward the central black staircase. As he neared his target, the enveloping pressure grew increasingly oppressive. Yet, relying on the Taiji power, Lin Yuan was still barely able to resist. The formless pressure almost materialized, starting to form terrifying creatures that charged at Lin Yuan, all ultimately colliding with the Taiji barrier and disintegrating into dust. Lin Yuan frowned. With each terrifying creature hitting the Taiji barrier, he clearly felt the Taiji barrier shake slightly. This won't do. Lin Yuan realized he could not allow those terrifying creatures to touch the Taiji barrier. Immeasurable force and the power of destruction. Lin Yuan used several types of higher cosmic force in succession, starting to actively hunt down those terrifying creatures formed by the formless pressure. The vast immeasurable force spread all around, and the power of destruction began to cleanse. During this period, Lin Yuan intermittently used other cosmic forces. Occasionally, dozens of ordinary cosmic forces were also utilized. This is much easier. Lin Yuan's face lit up with a smile. The combination of different cosmic forces often yielded greater effects. In the spirit realm, Lingshu Immortal King had only comprehended one type of high power of creation and 6 types of ordinary powers of creation, but the latter, when combined, were hardly inferior to the high power of creation. Lin Yuan possessed even more ordinary cosmic forces, which combined even more perfectly, making his journey toward the central black staircase nearly an overwhelming march. Senior Shinji said that the faster one passes the first layer, the more generous the rewards. Lin Yuan quickened his pace, the surrounding formless pressure grew heavier, and the number of conjured phantom creatures increased, yet under the sweeping coordination of proactive cosmic forces, Lin Yuan never even stopped his stride. Soon, when he was about 100 meters away from the central black staircase, a near-tangible black octopod creature materialized, its terrifying presence overwhelming. Lin Yuan finally halted. He sensed a faint threat emanating from this black octopod creature. Quick battle, quick decision. No need to hold back. Lin Yuan didn't want to waste time on the black octopod creature. He just wanted to quickly surpass the first layer to see what rewards awaited. So, without hesitation, he went all out. Dozens of cosmic forces mixed. Chapter 507, Lin Yuan's Age. Please subscribe. _2 Among the cosmic forces, one strand was immeasurably profound, faintly emanating the breath of the primal, the very primal force that transcended the higher cosmic forces. Over 900 years in the spirit realm, had it not been for that piece of primordial stone that descended from the 9 heavens, even with against heaven's understanding, Lin Yuan would have found it extremely difficult to comprehend such a mysterious power that surpassed the higher cosmic forces. The primal force of the first realm possessed might that nearly transcended the cosmic forces of the third realm. The black 8-clawed creature that had solidified, almost tangible, at the last moment of its life, let out a crazed roar before it was crushed to dust under the overwhelming pressure of various cosmic forces. Quickly, go! Lin Yuan continued to stride toward the black staircase at the center. With spatial suppression on the first floor of the black tower, it was impossible to teleport or compress space, not even to fly. Lin Yuan could only reach his destination by walking. There should be no more creatures to block the way behind. Lin Yuan kept walking, though he felt somewhat uneasy. By now, he had played his last card, even invoking the primal force. At least in terms of spirit will, he had no stronger methods left. Actually, on second thought, there was still one. That was the physical body divine ability strengthening. Once Lin Yuan activated this divine skill, everything, his physical soul, spirit will, and so on, would increase tenfold. Even with just spirit will at this moment, Lin Yuan would benefit from the amplification of strengthening. However, this divine skill was meant to be a trump card held in reserve, and using it would lead to a brief period of weakness. Lin Yuan wouldn't use it unless absolutely necessary. Outside the 9 floors dark tower, the stone statue Shinji, who had been eagerly watching Lin Yuan's tower challenging ordeal, had fallen silent at some point. Watching Lin Yuan, who was advancing through the tower unabated toward the central black staircase, statue Shinji's freshly awakened mind turned to mush once more. What had he seen? An 8th layer being charging through the tower challenge? This was beyond belief for stone statue Shinji, who had guarded the 9 floors dark tower for untold years and witnessed the peak of the Moyu Tower's glory, encountering genius after genius that defied explanation. But at the 8th layer, no matter how strong a genius one was, to pass through the first floor of the Black Tower one would need to be extremely cautious, advancing slowly and tentatively. Not excluding 8th layer beings that mastered the complete space rules. As for charging? Indeed. The faster one completed the tower challenge, the richer the rewards. Stone statue Shinji would proactively inform every challenger of this. But that was all he would do. It was like saying, if you work hard at your cultivation, one day you might become a supreme being. Just talk. A basic encouragement. To get through the first floor was already very difficult for an 8th layer being. Where would they have the luxury to consider speed? 1 cosmic force, 2 cosmic forces, 50 cosmic forces. Stone statue Shinji, numb from counting, watched as Lin Yuan activated cosmic forces one after another, which also caught his eye. But the more he saw, the more alarmed he became. Where would you find an 8th layer being that controlled dozens of cosmic forces at once? Does that make any sense? Is that still an 8th layer being? Stone statue Shinji fell into self-doubt. He even speculated whether, during his slumber, something earth-shattering had happened in the outside world that made the comprehension of cosmic forces easier. But no matter how much easier, those were still cosmic forces, right? That cosmic force? Stone statue Shinji's pupils constricted slightly, his gaze fixated on a certain drifting cosmic force. This cosmic force radiated the aura of the primal. It was indeed the primal force. Higher cosmic force? No, this is not a higher cosmic force. Statue Shinji's heart was struck by a tidal wave of shock. Cosmic forces were of 2 kinds. One is the ordinary cosmic force. The other is the higher cosmic force. Actually, even among ordinary cosmic forces and higher cosmic forces, there are levels of strength and weakness. Some ordinary and higher cosmic forces are simply stronger than others of the same tier. But even the strongest have their limits. The strand of primal force now before the statue was fundamentally superior to all higher cosmic forces. Source-level cosmic force. This is the source-level cosmic force. The stone statue Shinji's mind was somewhat befuddled. To an 8th layer being, the source-level cosmic force was legendary. An 8th layer life form could hope to comprehend the cosmic force, but this typically referred only to the ordinary cosmic forces or the higher-level cosmic forces at most. Even higher-level cosmic forces were rare. As for an 8th layer life form comprehending the source-level cosmic force, even though the stone statue had once followed the Moyu Tower Master, it had only heard of such a feat. A freak of nature like this, even during the heyday of the magic Jade Tower, would be immediately taken in by the Moyu Tower Master as a direct disciple and nurtured with all resources. Yet Lin Yuan not only achieved this, but had also casually comprehended dozens of other types of cosmic forces, among which more than 10 were high-level cosmic forces. Master, how good it would have been if you had disappeared later. Stone statue Shinji's heart trembled internally, an existence that comprehended origin power during its 8th layer lifespan, with a bit of nurturing, wouldn't need 1,000,000 years to become a force to be reckoned with in a region. First layer of the Black Tower. The thing Lin Yuan worried about didn't happen. After crushing that black 8-clawed creature, there was no significant resistance met afterward. Lin Yuan thus easily arrived at the central staircase. Whoosh! Stone statue Shinji appeared here, staring intently at Lin Yuan as if witnessing some rare treasure. Senior Shinji, Lin Yuan tentatively asked, do you think the speed at which I completed the first layer is considered fast? Knowing that the faster one cleared the tower, the richer the rewards would be, Lin Yuan had held back almost nothing just now. Aside from his physical body divine ability strengthening, he had gone all out. Is it considered fast? Stone statue Xianxia once again fell silent. It wasn't just fast. At the 8th layer life stage, Lin Yuan's speed in completing the first layer was unquestionably the fastest, and even opened up a gap like the heavens and earth with the one in second place. Very fast. Stone statue Xianxia took a deep breath, calming the shock within its heart. That's good to hear. Lin Yuan was relieved. In an all-out situation, he believed that no 8th layer powerhouse in the main world's universe would be his match. But the magic jade tower was not a power from the main world. It came from beyond the universe, so Lin Yuan was still very humble. With your potential for the rewards of the first layer, you may pick any 3, said stone statue Xianxia. Normally, after passing the first layer of the dark tower, one would be bestowed a treasure, the value of which was determined by a combination of factors like the speed of clearing the tower and the potential displayed. Lin Yuan, with 1 source-level cosmic force and more than a dozen higher-level cosmic forces, and dozens of ordinary cosmic forces, had completely surpassed the limits of stone statue Xianxia. Therefore, all the treasures of the first layer were laid out for Lin Yuan to choose from himself, and the number was also increased from 1 to 3. This was the greatest authority that stone statue Xianxia possessed. All right. Lin Yuan looked forward with anticipation. However, before you select the treasures, there's a process to go through. The stone statue took out a black mirror. This mirror can sense the traces of time, estimating your real age approximately, said the stone statue. This was also a measure of potential, the same speed in clearing the tower, the younger the age, naturally, the higher the potential. But rest assured, it's just a formality. With the cosmic force you wield, even if you were 5 million years old, it wouldn't affect the final awarding of your reward, the stone statue spoke. The lifespan limit of an 8th layer being is 5 million years. Here, 5 million years refers to the limit after employing all possible life-extending methods. A normal 8th layer being would be coming to the end of its life close to 1 million years old. What the stone statue Xianxia meant was, no matter how old Lin Yuan was, merely possessing the source-level cosmic force was enough to completely disregard it. After saying this, the stone statue activated the black mirror. Suddenly, a hazy light enveloped Lin Yuan, and immediately ancient characters appeared on the mirror. The stone statue gave it a casual glance, thinking that confirming Lin Yuan's age was completely meaningless. If it weren't for the rules set by the demonic Jade Tower Master, he would have already laid out the rewards for Lin Yuan to choose from. As stone statue Xianxia was contemplating which 3 rewards Lin Yuan would pick, its gaze indifferently glanced at the ancient characters on the black mirror. In that instant, the stone statue's expression once again froze. He carefully examined the characters on the mirror, turned his head incredulously towards Lin Yuan and said, "You are only 2,000 years old? 2,000 years at the 8th layer? 2,000 years and comprehended dozens of cosmic forces? 2,000 years and comprehended source-level cosmic force?" Stone statue Xianxia felt as if its entire understanding of the world was collapsing. Chapter 5083 Treasures. Please subscribe. Over 2,000 years old? Lin Yuan was also carefully observing the black mirror. Having traversed the door to the myriad realms 8 times, he had stayed for 20 years, 80 years, 160 years, 300 years, 500 years, 600 years, 30 years, and 920 years respectively. Adding up all the stay durations, it amounted to 2,610 years, and if the time in the main world were included as well, Lin Yuan's precise age would be 2,630 years. This precise age refers to the age of the spirit will, which is the fundamental age for judging a being. As for the physical age, the soul age, neither can fundamentally measure the true years a life has experienced. After all, the body can be changed, the soul can also be abandoned, but only the spirit will. True spirit is the core of life. To so precisely ascertain my true age? Lin Yuan was somewhat surprised. When he previously met Xiaqin's Supreme Being, the latter had also sensed Lin Yuan's real age, but not as precisely as this mirror. Xiaqin's Supreme Being had mastered the complete rule of time. It was not surprising that he could perceive the true temporal years Lin Yuan had experienced. But this mirror? It must be a treasure involving the rule of time, Lin Yuan guessed to himself. Time-related treasures, containing the power of time, can only be crafted by those who fully master the rule of time. How exactly did you practice? In just over 2,000 years, not only did you reach the 8th layer, but also comprehend so much cosmic force? The stone statue Shinji couldn't comprehend. Could it be you've never encountered any bottlenecks or constraints? The stone statue Shinji found it somewhat absurd. Considering Lin Yuan's displayed talents, even at the age of 4 million or 5 million years, it would be considered incredible. As for just over 2,000 years? What can be achieved in just over 2,000 years? Grasping even one type of cosmic force? At this moment, the stone statue was full of speculations, such as whether the black mirror might be malfunctioning? Or could Lin Yuan be a legendary temporal life? The former was almost impossible, as the black mirror, crafted by the Moyu Tower Master, contained the complete rule of time. Even if there were issues with this test space, it would not malfunction. And the latter, temporal life born within time, living in the river of time, existing in the past, present, and future. Time could not leave any marks on them, so could that be why they escaped detection by the Black Mirror? But even for someone as great as the demonic Jade Tower Master, temporal life was only something he had heard about and never actually seen. The stone statue Shinji found it increasingly difficult to understand. Even if another freak of nature, could they at least conform to some basic logic? Lin Yuan, however, shattered his perceptions in one fell swoop. What the stone statue Shinji didn't know was that the strength at the 8th layer and the several types of cosmic force were merely a part of Lin Yuan's achievements over the past 2,000 years. Lin Yuan's greatest achievement was pioneering the martial path evolutionary path, where his real efforts lay. The martial path evolutionary path was Lin Yuan's strongest confidence in becoming a supreme being in the future, whether it was the space rules or other laws, or the various cosmic forces. All served the martial path evolutionary path. Maybe my understanding is a bit higher than others? Lin Yuan pondered and then said, "A bit higher?" The stone statue Shinji remained silent. Was it just a bit? All right, I don't care how you managed to accomplish these things, but with the talents and potential you've displayed, you can choose 3 treasures from all the rewards of the Black Tower's 1st layer and 2nd layer, said stone statue Shinji. Those who normally passed the 1st layer of Magic Jade Tower would receive a random treasure from that level, and these treasures generally ranked in the mid to lower tier among all the rewards of the 1st layer. Lin Yuan, through the use of dozens of types of cosmic force, including source-level cosmic force, demonstrated potential far beyond stone statue's imagination, hence the decision to let Lin Yuan choose any 3 items from the numerous treasures of the 1st layer. 3 picks and of their choice. No one knew how much stronger this was compared to a random award. But now, upon learning that Lin Yuan was only just over 2,000 years old, the stone statue expanded the selection change from rewards of the 1st layer to include those of the 2nd layer as well. The demonic Jade Tower Master originally designed this training space so that each layer had its own separate reward treasury. The higher the Black Tower's levels, the richer and more rare its corresponding reward treasury. The 2nd layer's reward treasury was naturally much more superior than that of the 1st layers. Lin Yuan, having only overcome the 1st layer yet being allowed to choose rewards including many from the 2nd layer's treasury, can only imagine the shock in the statue's heart. If it weren't for the fact that the numerous treasures in the reward treasury of the 3rd layer of the Black Tower were basically useless to Lin Yuan, it might have even opened up the 3rd layer's treasury for him. After finishing, stone statue Shinji raised its right hand, and multiple layers of screens appeared in front of Lin Yuan. They recorded many treasures and rare items. So many treasures! Lin Yuan's heart rate sped up, and the majority of the treasures recorded on the reward list were unheard of by him, but their unparalleled value was confirmed through the remarks and explanations beside each reward item. In the main world, they could make those at the 9th rank and 10th rank break their heads over them. Even the origin fine gold obtained by Chikuan Star Lord at a great expense was only ranked towards the bottom on this list of rewards. Too many, too many. Lin Yuan reviewed the list several times, finding it difficult to choose, mainly because he had never heard of most of the treasure rewards, although there was a basic remark explaining each item on the list. Chapter 509 3 Treasures. Please subscribe. _2 Yet merely relying on these annotations made it difficult to fully understand the treasure reward and to ascertain whether it was suitable for oneself. Senior Xinji. Lin Yuan's gaze shifted from the reward list to the stone statue Xinji standing beside him. I'm unsure which 3 treasure rewards to choose. Lin Yuan found it hard to make a choice because he was unfamiliar with these reward treasures. But as the keeper of this trial space, the stone statue Xinji, who had control over the rewards for each layer, certainly knew the value of each treasure. Would you like me to choose for you? An unusual expression appeared on the face of the stone statue Xinji. Normally, he was too lazy to bother with these matters, but having been lonely for many years, coupled with Lin Yuan exhibiting an unreasonable and incomprehensible talent, he was quite willing to offer his suggestions. Are you looking to select the most valuable treasure rewards or the ones most suitable for you? The stone statue Xinji asked, needing to understand Lin Yuan's needs to offer specific suggestions. The ones suitable for me, Lin Yuan said without hesitation. Most of the treasures on the reward list were ones Lin Yuan had never even heard of, suggesting they might be hard to acquire even in the main world. Therefore, it was best to choose the most suitable ones, as the value of a treasure was irrelevant if it could not be utilized properly. Then I do have some thoughts. The stone statue Xinji observed Lin Yuan for a moment, then spoke earnestly. For you, right now, the most critical thing is to fully comprehend the complete space rules. Fully comprehend the complete space rules? Lin Yuan was slightly taken aback. Normal beings of the 8th layer indeed don't need to fully comprehend the complete space rules to break through to the 9th rank. The stone statue Xinji glanced at Lin Yuan. Because given the vastness of the space rules, it is sufficient to grasp just a small portion to encompass and integrate with other rules, the stone statue Xinji said. Right? Lin Yuan nodded. The Taiyin rule and Taiyang rule could be integrated only when Lin Yuan had completely understood both. This is because the Taiyin rule and Taiyang rule are on the same level, and to integrate them, it is necessary to fully comprehend both. However, the space rules are a foundational rule, far surpassing ordinary rules in vastness, and integration with ordinary rules doesn't require full comprehension. But this is under normal circumstances, the stone statue Xinji sighed. Even though some beings of the 8th layer who discover several types of cosmic force might blend them with ordinary rules into the space rules when breaking through to the 9th rank, it hardly impacts them much, he continued, pausing briefly. But you have discovered too many types of cosmic force, including one that is of the source level. For you to step into the 9th rank, you must comprehend the complete space rules fully, he added. Only with the complete space rules can you support the numerous types of cosmic force you have discovered. The stone statue Xinji finished and fell silent. So that's it, Lin Yuan suddenly realized. No wonder he had been struggling recently with the integration of the rules. It was because the space rules he had grasped were insufficient. This wasn't surprising since the human alliance in the main world's description of how to ascend to the 9th rank never mentioned how to integrate so many types of cosmic force. Moreover, since Lin Yuan had not revealed that he had discovered numerous types of cosmic force, others, even if willing, could not provide relevant advice. So, I recommend the first treasure you should choose is void interpretation, the stone statue Xinji slowly said. Void interpretation? Lin Yuan's eyes lit up as he immediately found the description of the treasure in the reward list. Void interpretation is the Moyu Tower Master's interpretation and understanding of space. The explanation was brief, but what caught Lin Yuan's attention was that this void interpretation came from the Moyu Tower Master. Space rules are boundless and infinite. What we call complete mastery of space rules is merely mastering certain aspects. The Master's void interpretation offers another perspective to interpret and understand the space rules. And this, for you, should be very useful even if you eventually comprehend the complete space rules, it will still be effective, the stone statue explained seriously while looking at Lin Yuan. Good. I'll choose that one, Lin Yuan immediately said. What kind of being is the Moyu Tower Master? A single phrase from him is invaluable, let alone a complete, void interpretation. Thus, after hearing the suggestion from stone statue Shinji, Lin Yuan made up his mind. Very well. A smile appeared on the face of stone statue Shinji. Although Lin Yuan possessed a talent and aptitude rarely seen in the world, even the demonic Jade Tower Master at the 8th layer was far inferior. However, even the most extraordinary talent needs to follow the correct path to be effective, and in the reward repository of the 1st and 2nd layers of the 9 floors Dark Tower, there was no lack of treasures that greatly enhanced combat power. Yet on the path of life's evolution, the usefulness of combat power is far less than the transformation of life itself. This is void interpretation, the masterwork of my lord. I hope you will comprehend it well. Stone statue Shinji waved his right hand. A silver-white book appeared in the air, over a meter tall, radiating faint spatial fluctuations. Lin Yuan, gazing at the book, felt as if he was looking at the vast space rules. Lin Yuan stared at the silver-white book. Characters of silver-white began to detach from the book, moving towards Lin Yuan, merging into his forehead one after another. One after another, the silver-white characters, each containing a massive amount of information. If written using human civilization's language, even tens of millions of words would not adequately express it. Finally, 3,333 silver-white characters merged into Lin Yuan's forehead, after which the entire silver-white book began to disintegrate, disappearing without a trace. Lin Yuan closed his eyes. At the same time, on the Milky Way main star, Lin Yuan's true body also closed his eyes. In the depths of his mind, 3,333 silver-white characters emitted a silvery glow. Lin Yuan carefully examined each character, never realizing before how profound information just one character could convey. Your comprehension is against the heavens. Watching the mystic text rapidly enhances your understanding of the space rules. Your comprehension is against the heavens. Watching the mystic text rapidly enhances your understanding of the space rules. Your comprehension is against the heavens. Watching the mystic text rapidly enhances your understanding of the space rules. With each moment, an abundance of inspiration about space surged into his mind. Lin Yuan had never thought that spacing could also be comprehended this way. It was not purely understanding of space, but also of the 5 elements, of lightning, of light, and so forth, delving deeper and deeper into understanding space. But just moments later, Lin Yuan felt he had comprehended 4 core spatial models in succession. Struck it big. Lin Yuan steadied his spirit, his attention reluctantly moving away from the characters in his mind. Worthy of the demonic Jade Tower Master's interpretation of space, Lin Yuan was excited. Each character contains endless depth, presenting a perspective on space different from that of human civilization. Lin Yuan took a deep breath. He felt that even a supreme being, upon viewing this void interpretation, would be deeply moved. Supreme beings had comprehended complete rules of time, complete space rules, but each supreme being's understanding of these rules was different. 9 floors Dark Tower. Lin Yuan opened his eyes. Void interpretation was currently being fully comprehended by his true body, even setting aside the fusion rules, because comprehending the complete space rules first significantly enhances the efficiency of merging the Taiji rules and various cosmic forces. All right. Stone statue Shinji looked at Lin Yuan and said, warmly, as for the second treasure, I suggest you choose this one. A thought from the stone statue, and a painting appeared in front of them. Within the painting, a young tree swayed, emanating boundless and endless cosmic power of the world. Chapter 510 Suggesting the Galaxy Master to come over, please subscribe. A world tree sapling? Lin Yuan also found this treasure from the reward list. Actually, Lin Yuan had been paying attention to the world tree sapling for a while, since it was one of the few treasures he recognized. In the cosmic starry skies of the main world, the world tree is a rare treasure that is found only by chance. Its world fruits can open up an inner world for an evolver ahead of time, putting them far ahead of their peers at the same level. As even Lin Yuan, with his against heaven's understanding, only painfully achieved his inner world at the moment he advanced from the 6th rank peak to the 7th rank. And yet, the world fruit could directly accomplish this feat, which speaks volumes about the value of the world tree. You have integrated dozens of cosmic forces with the complete space rules, establishing a profoundly terrifying foundation, and your inner world also must have a treasure of sufficient weight to preside over it. The world tree is most suitable. The stone statue Xianxia spoke. There are many uses for the world tree, including presiding over the inner world and stabilizing all the energetic rules within it, like earth, wind, fire, and water. A single world tree is more useful than tens of thousands of cosmic rare treasures. Even if the world tree presides over the inner world, it could potentially expand it further, possibly breaking the shackles that limit human evolution to millions of miles in their inner worlds. Among the treasures in the first and second layers of the reward treasury, the value of the world tree sapling ranks in the top 3. I even think it's the first. The stone statue spoke. The reason I think is because at the level of treasures like the world tree sapling, it's hard to clearly distinguish the first from the second. It completely depends on whether it suits the individual. Then let's go with the world tree sapling, Lin Yuan nodded. Even without the stone statue Xianxia's suggestion, Lin Yuan would most likely have chosen the world tree sapling anyway. After all, with what human civilization knows about the world tree, Lin Yuan was very eager to have one of his own. Planting the world tree sapling in the inner world, generally speaking, the more abundant the essence of the inner world, the faster the world tree sapling will grow, the stone statue Xianxia said. Understood, Lin Yuan nodded. Once the world tree matures, it will produce world fruits, a treasure of immense value. Even if Lin Yuan doesn't use them himself, he could easily sell them. It's estimated that even supreme beings would be willing to pay a price to purchase world fruits, to lay a foundation for their offspring. With the power of the world fruits, even a 6th rank evolver could open up an inner world, similar to a weakened version of Starry Sky Wanderer Kun. As for the third treasure, I currently have no suggestions, the stone statue Xianxia spoke. No suggestions, Lin Yuan glanced at the reward list again. Currently, he wasn't lacking anything and didn't know which treasure to choose as a reward. If he chose wrongly, Lin Yuan guessed he would regret it for a long time. Master Xianxia, is it possible to keep the last chance to choose a reward for later use? Lin Yuan tentatively asked. Once a treasure from the reward list is chosen, it cannot be exchanged, and Lin Yuan planned to decide later. No problem, the stone statue Xianxia nodded. If it were during the heyday of the magic Jade Tower, when practitioners were always entering the Black Tower, it would naturally be better to choose from the reward list as soon as possible. After all, if you choose too late, you might find that other practitioners have already taken the treasure, but now? For countless millennia, only Lin Yuan has been such a practitioner, and it's predictable that, for a long time to come, it will still only be Lin Yuan. So there is virtually no chance that the treasures from the reward list will be picked before him. With no one else competing, who would make a selection? Do you plan on trying the second layer? The stone statue asked with a smile. The first layer of the Black Tower is only passable by 8th layer beings who have fully comprehended the complete space rules or several other powerful cosmic forces. And the second layer of the Black Tower? It has nothing to do with 8th layer beings, but only the very strongest among the 9th rank could hope to pass through the second layer of the Black Tower. Even Lin Yuan, who has mastered dozens of cosmic forces, including the source-level cosmic force, stands no chance of passing through the second layer of the Black Tower. The essence of his life is such that, although the source-level cosmic force offers unlimited potential, he would need to continue growing. Currently, as an 8th layer being, even with the source-level cosmic force, he definitely could not pass through the second layer of the Black Tower. The stone statue's inquiry about whether Lin Yuan intended to try passing the second layer was simply out of boredom, hoping Lin Yuan might stay in this training space a while longer. Lin Yuan nodded. Following the black stairs, he arrived at the second layer of the Black Tower. Seeing this, the stone statue disappeared into the distance and reappeared outside the 9 floors dark tower. Rustling. A series of images appeared before the stone statue, showing every detail of the second layer of the Black Tower. The pressure has increased a lot. Upon arriving at the second layer of the Black Tower, Lin Yuan immediately felt a terrifying pressure coming from all directions. Varieties of cosmic forces operated around him, and even the source-level cosmic force, the primal force, circulated around him as Lin Yuan walked with difficulty toward the central black stairway of the second layer. Time elapsed. Lin Yuan had quickly covered a third of the distance. But the next moment, dozens of cosmic forces all shattered, and along with them, the primal force also dissipated into nothing. With the loss of the numerous cosmic forces' protection, Lin Yuan's form also dissipated into nothingness. Failed. Outside the 9 floors dark tower, the stone statue Xianxia showed no sign of surprise. Actually, the fact that Lin Yuan had managed to cover a third of the distance on the second layer of the Black Tower was already incredibly unbelievable. You should know, this layer is completely intended for 9th rank beings, and Lin Yuan managing a third already surpassed many 9th rank beings. Chapter 5:11 Suggesting Inviting the Galaxy Master over, please subscribe. _2 Even some of the strongest beings within the 9th rank life forms were no match for Lin Yuan. Of course, being no match here was entirely in terms of spirit will and the various cosmic forces. The power that 9th rank life forms possessed far exceeded just these aspects, but the 9 floors dark tower specifically tested these areas. It's a pity you came too late. If you had appeared while the master was still here, the rewards you would have received would be far more than just these treasures, stone statue Xianxia sighed. Given the talent and aptitude Lin Yuan had shown, had the Moyu Tower master known, he would definitely have been cultivated like a precious treasure. But now, there was no choice but to make do with these treasures for emergencies. Milky Way main star. Lin Yuan once again opened his eyes. The second layer is too difficult. Lin Yuan pondered solemnly. Based on the experience of the first layer of the Black Tower, after walking 1/3 of the distance, illusory creatures condensed out of thin air would appear. Yet Lin Yuan hadn't even seen these illusory creatures before he was crushed by the omnipresent pressure. Dozens of cosmic forces could not withstand it. If I had comprehended the complete space rules, could I break through the second layer? Lin Yuan wondered to himself. While the complete space rules didn't allow Lin Yuan to have the energy to teleport or shift in the second layer of the Black Tower, his command over the space rules allowed him to greatly diminish the overwhelming pressure that bore down on him. Space rules were mysterious and unpredictable. With the power of the space rules, Lin Yuan could completely twist and stretch the space within inches around him to form a vast space of thousands of miles. Thus, even the greatest pressure would be significantly weakened upon entering this space. It feels like even with the complete space rules apprehended, the hope to break through the second layer is still slim. Lin Yuan shook his head slightly. According to stone statue Xianxia, the second layer of the Black Tower was entirely prepared for 9th rank life forms, and only the most powerful among 9th rank life forms could hope to break through. In other words, most 9th rank life forms had no hope of breaking through the second layer. And while not all 9th rank life forms had mastered the complete space rules, it was clear that most could not be associated with this feat. Many 9th rank life forms who had mastered the complete space rules still could not break through the second layer. I have another trump card, which is the divine skill enhancement, Lin Yuan silently thought to himself. The reason he hadn't used the divine skill enhancement while attempting the second layer earlier had been simply because it was pointless. At that point, Lin Yuan had only completed a third of the journey. Using divine skill enhancement then, with only 10 breaths duration, he could not have possibly covered the remaining 2/3 of the distance. He'll see when the time comes. Lin Yuan's stream of thought receded. The rewards from the 9 floors dark tower were too rich for Lin Yuan to let such an opportunity slip by casually. Even if he couldn't break through the second layer at the 8th layer, once he stepped into the 9th rank, he would definitely try again. World Tree. Lin Yuan calmed his mind and looked at a sapling in front of him with a fervent look in his eyes. This Moyu Tower master, in terms of spatial attainment, has reached an unbelievable level. He just sent this world tree sapling to me following the magic jade mark. Lin Yuan's expression was filled with emotion. What had descended to the demon jade space was just a wisp of Lin Yuan's spirit will, unable to bring back any physical item. Even knowing that the demon jade space was not in the main world and was incredibly distant from it, still being able to accomplish this feat astonished Lin Yuan himself. This was akin to the door to the myriad realms. The door to the myriad realms, as long as sufficient world-breaking origin force was paid, could also transport items from the main world into various realms, or bring items from those realms back to the main world. Of course, it was but a similarity. The task of carrying items through the myriad rank gateway involved crossing different dimensional strata, which transcended the concept of space itself, countless times more sophisticated than what the Moyu Tower Master had achieved. However distant the demon jade space was from the main world, it was still within the same stratum and the same dimension. Let's plant the world tree in the inner world quickly. With a mere thought, Lin Yuan brought the world tree sapling into his inner world. In the center of his inner world, vast enough to span billions of miles, the figure of Lin Yuan appeared, holding a sapling half a meter tall. Rustling, Lin Yuan gently placed the world tree sapling on the ground. The sapling's roots began to burrow into the soil, slowly absorbing the power of the world. A very peculiar feeling? Lin Yuan's expression shifted. As the world tree took root in his inner world, Lin Yuan had a strange sensation. It was as if the world tree was a descendant of his own bloodline. It's absorbing the power of the world. Lin Yuan felt clearly that the world tree sapling was slowly absorbing the power of the world into its trunk. As the power of the world entered the sapling, Lin Yuan also sensed that he was rapidly refining the world tree sapling. There's no noticeable change. Lin Yuan briefly sensed his inner world and found the world tree sapling hadn't had any significant effect yet. Let's take it slow. Lin Yuan understood that the world tree was too small at present, and even if its quality was astoundingly high, it could not have an impact on a world spanning billions of miles. Milky Way main star. After settling the world tree sapling, Lin Yuan began to contemplate void interpretation. The evolutionary scholars of human civilization in the main world had divided complete space rules into basic spatial models and core spatial models. Only those who had apprehended these two types of spatial models could master the complete space rules. But this was merely the understanding of those pioneering evolutionary scholars of human civilization. In fact, the space rules were boundless and infinite. How could a mere few thousand or tens of thousands of spatial models encompass the true space rules? Chapter 512 Suggesting Inviting the Galaxy Master over, please subscribe. _3 The so-called basic space model and core space model are nothing but attempts by human evolvers to understand a certain aspect of the space rules through their evolution. The void interpretation, written by the Moyu Tower Master, on the other hand, interprets the space rules from a perspective entirely different from that of humans. In the Moyu Tower Master's understanding, everything in the world originates from space, and the many rules, including the 5 elements rules, thunderclap rules, and light rules, are all part of the space rules. Can the space rules really be comprehended in this way? Is there really such a side to the space rules? Lin Yuan suddenly became somewhat obsessed, continuously struck by flashes of insight. And while persistently pondering over the void interpretation, Lin Yuan's understanding of the spatial models deepened without cease. He soon penetrated the 6,000th core space model and was making rapid progress toward the 7,000th one. Battlefield B0001. This medium-sized otherworldly battlefield is the oldest among all the battlefields of different races, a battleground where human civilization clashed with one of the peak clans, the Tianyu clan. The Tianyu clan resembled humans in appearance, their height generally ranging from 5 to 10 meters, except they had pure white wings, which symbolized a clansman's status and potential in the Tianyu clan. For 2 million years, countless evolvers from human civilization fought bitterly with the Tianyu clan, with a ferocity that even surpassed that of the conflicts between human civilization and the insect race. Every day, many human evolvers perished at the hands of the formidable members of the Tianyu clan, and likewise, many powerful Tianyu clan members died at the hands of human civilization's evolvers. At this moment, on one side of battlefield B0001, a group of dozens of 8th-layer invincible evolvers gathered, discussing war strategies against the Tianyu clan. In a few years at most, the Tianyu clan will inevitably launch a full-scale war to determine the ownership of that star domain, the leading short and stout 8th layer invincible said with a solemn tone, speaking slowly. Human civilization specifically established numerous battlefields to control the impact of war within certain limits as much as possible. If they fought in the starry sky instead of on the designated battlefields, it would surely result in the destruction of numerous planets. Even if they won the war, they would only inherit a star domain full of scars and desolation. Previously, Lin Yuan had gone to the Milky Way star region to take up the position of Galaxy Master, and the original master of that star domain belonged to the Shadow Tribe. The Shadow Tribe, after losing and conceding defeat in the battlefield conflict with human civilization, voluntarily gave up the control of a star domain. This was also an arrangement agreed upon by the major peak clans in the alliance. And now, the clash between human civilization and the heavenly race would decide the ownership of a vast star domain. The Tianyu clan is well prepared and determined to win that star domain, having mobilized several 8th layer invincibles. Our chances of victory are not great, a woman clad in blue robes said. It wasn't that human civilization was inferior to the Tianyu clan. Rather, sometime earlier, human civilization had deployed a large number of evolvers to engage in a war with another peak clan. This had led to a shortage of evolvers available for the current conflict. I do have a proposal, an 8th layer invincible spoke up at that moment. Speak, the short and stout elder said immediately. He too was concerned about the upcoming war against the Tianyu clan. Not long ago, the Galaxy Master subdued 5 8th layer invincible aliens. Repelling 3 and slaying 2, his fame is illustrious. The 3rd 8th layer invincible evolver slowly began. Therefore, my proposal is, this 8th layer invincible evolver looked around, to invite the Galaxy Master here, no matter what the cost. Chapter 513 Great Scholar Tay. When did you become a great scholar too? Please subscribe, go invite the Galaxy Master. The other 8th layer invincible evolvers glanced at each other. Battlefield B0001 is the oldest medium-sized battlefield, gathering a large number of evolvers from human civilization and strong individuals from the Tianyu clan. In terms of the intensity of war, Battlefield B0001 is second only to the large alien battlefield, often witnessing battles among 8th layer invincible beings. The number of 8th layer invincible beings deployed by human civilization in this battlefield even exceeds several dozen. Moreover, aside from the 8th layer invincible beings, there are also 9th rank powers paying attention. Of course, whether it is from the side of human civilization or the Tianyu clan, 9th rank powers only pay attention and basically do not intervene. Once 9th rank powers enter the fray, the nature of the battle shifts, and the entire battlefield could be decimated. The alliances of several peak clans in the cosmic starry skies restrict the actions of 9th rank powers as much as possible, except in large battlefields, where it is rare for 9th rank powers to act. Previously, when human civilization dispatched multiple 9th rank evolvers to purge several powerful clans within the insect race alliance, it was because the insect race had openly severed diplomatic ties. Inviting the Galaxy Master, that indeed is a solution. Many of the 8th layer invincible evolvers nodded in agreement. Being 8th layer invincible, they are naturally extremely proud, but they harbor no doubts about the Galaxy Master. In that battle within the Milky Way star region, the Galaxy Master, facing 5 opponents alone, killed 2 of the 8th layer invincible from different species, with such ferocity, which 8th layer invincible would dare to harbor other thoughts. The Galaxy Master, through his own power, raised the combat power limit of 8th layer invincibles, and even shattered the myth of their invincibility, being acclaimed as the first 8th layer evolver of human civilization, or more precisely, the foremost 8th layer evolver in the history of human civilization. But what price should we pay to invite the Galaxy Master? Asked a woman in blue robes. With the strength of the Galaxy Master, there indeed was hope to turn the tide of the battlefield, at least to hold off a significant portion of the 8th layer invincibles of the Tianyu clan. Under such circumstances, human civilization would be virtually unbeatable. All that is well and good. The problem is what kind of price to pay. If the price is too low, the Galaxy Master would not bother to come. If the price is too high, then there is no upper limit, and they are also unclear exactly how high a price would be necessary to invite the Galaxy Master. I've decided to yield 1/10 of the total merit points from the upcoming wars in this battlefield. A short, plump figure pondered for a while and said earnestly, 1/10 of the total merit points? The many 8th layer invincible evolvers were shocked. The total merit points from a battlefield involve a very large number of merit points. Why do those star lords of star domains continually seek to take over and manage one alien battlefield after another? Merely to serve human civilization? Of course, because managing an alien battlefield can yield substantial benefits, among which merit points are the most important aspect. As long as we can hold our own against the Tianyu clan, let's yield it. The 8th layer invincible evolvers pondered for a while and agreed. Losing the war against the Tianyu clan, for those 8th layer invincible evolvers who reside permanently on the battlefield, would also require a huge price, perhaps even losing this avatar. In that case, then I will contact the goddess of freedom, who will reach out to the Galaxy Master. The short, plump figure spoke. Mobilizing an 8th layer invincible, especially a legendary 8th layer invincible like Lin Yuan, certainly requires the approval of the goddess of freedom. Simultaneously, the price they agreed upon also needs to be certified by the goddess of freedom, which is also a way to express their sincerity to the Galaxy Master. Demon Jade Space. 2nd layer of the Black Tower. Lin Yuan's form reappeared, an invisible yet profound pressure assaulting him from all directions. Confronting the enveloping pressure with various cosmic forces, could it help me develop more techniques of utilizing cosmic forces? Lin Yuan thought to himself. Ever since his last failed attempt at conquering the 2nd layer of the Black Tower, he occasionally re-entered the 9 floors Dark Tower using the magic jade mark. By utilizing the pressure of the 2nd layer, he trained in the use of various cosmic forces. In the main world, for beings of the 8th layer, cosmic force is unique, so there are simply no techniques for its utilization. But in the spirit realm, many supreme immortal kings mastered various powers of creation, and the combination of different creative powers could often unleash even greater might. The internal environment of the 9 floors Dark Tower, especially designed for cosmic force and understanding of space rules, combined with Lin Yuan's Against Heaven's understanding, could completely allow him to better grasp the techniques of utilizing cosmic forces through continuous adjustment and adaptation. Of course, Lin Yuan's visits here were merely considered a pastime during his periods of comprehending space rules. He would come here to relax whenever he felt tired. Outside the 9 floors Dark Tower, the stone statue Xinji was also observing Lin Yuan's performance on the 2nd layer. This young fellow, treating the training ground left by the master as a stepping stone, the stone statue Xinji shook its head. But it's good. I'm indeed looking forward to what achievements you might have in the future. Stone statue Xinji stared at the screen featuring Lin Yuan. A moment later, Lin Yuan voluntarily gave up. Expelled from the 9 floors Dark Tower, he appeared outside the Black Tower. How's it going, kid? The stone statue asked with a smile. Got some insights, Lin Yuan said, though in fact it was more than just some. He had just concretely realized 6 types of cosmic force techniques, including 3 advanced cosmic forces. Fully sensing the essence of cosmic force will greatly benefit the ultimate sublimation and transformation of your inner world into an inner universe, the stone statue Xinji stated. Inner universe, Lin Yuan's expression became slightly solemn. Chapter 514 Great Scholar Te. When did you also become a great scholar? Please subscribe. _2 Why does the cosmic force realized by an invincible 8th layer practitioner offer great benefits during 9th layer cultivation? It is because the cosmic force is the fundamental power of the universe's starry skies in the main world, realized and fused into the pillar rules at the 8th layer, transforming the inner world and imbuing it with a trace of the cosmic starry sky's fundamental power. When the inner world ascends to an inner universe, it will act as a catalyst. With the cosmic force at your command, coupled with the world tree's suppression, ascending your inner world to an inner universe in the future should pose no difficulties. The only thing you need to be mindful of is what kind of inner universe will be ascended to. The stone statue Shinji gazed at Lin Yuan. Even among inner universes, there are distinctions between strong and weak. The stone statue Shinji was curious about what degree Lin Yuan's future inner universe would reach. Dozens of ordinary cosmic forces, more than 10 superior cosmic forces, plus 1 source-level cosmic force. What kind of inner universe will it form? It's a pity that the upper limit of your race is not high. Even if you fully comprehend the complete space rules, the maximum extent of your inner world would be tens of millions of miles. If it could be a bit larger, the stone statue spoke up to this point, then suddenly laughed. What was it thinking? Even if the inner world was only tens of millions of miles in extent, with so many cosmic forces integrated, it could turn decay into magic. Lin Yuan was about to speak. His expression suddenly changed slightly. The goddess of freedom is looking for me? A thought crossed Lin Yuan's mind. Milky Way main star. The voice of the goddess of freedom suddenly reached Lin Yuan's ears. Respected scholar Yuan. Compared to the solemn and aloof voice of the goddess of wisdom, the voice of the goddess of freedom was filled with coldness and a killing intent, making it very distinctive. Goddess of freedom. Lin Yuan's tone was slightly solemn. In human civilization, the status of the 3 goddesses is not less than that of the 9 supreme beings. Over more than 2 million years, the 3 ultimate AI goddesses have made indelible contributions. Very soon, the goddess of freedom conveyed the invitation from the B0001 exotic battlefield to Lin Yuan. You want me to go to this battlefield of different races to confront numerous strong ones from the Tianyu clan? Lin Yuan raised his eyebrows slightly. As long as I agree, will I receive 1/10 of the total merit from the upcoming war? Lin Yuan was somewhat tempted. The B0001 exotic battlefield had arrangements from the human civilization and the Tianyu clan's numerous strong ones involved, hence the associated merit was naturally colossal. Even just 1/10 was probably in the tens of millions. Just by making a move once, could I at least obtain tens of millions of merit points? Lin Yuan thought to himself. With Lin Yuan's strength, naturally, he would make a move at the most critical moment to turn the tide of battle, which meant he would likely only act once. Goddess of freedom, will there be any 9th layer or 10th layer strong ones taking action on this battlefield of different races? Lin Yuan thought for a moment, then asked. On a medium-sized otherworldly battlefield, strong ones of the 9th layer and above rarely enter. And even if they do, there are evolvers from our human civilization of the 9th layer and above to face them, the goddess of freedom said in a cold voice, as if devoid of any emotion. So, if I go to this battlefield, will there be any accidents, like being cursed and killed along with all my avatars by the different species strong ones? Lin Yuan continued to inquire. At any time, one's own safety is the most important. If Lin Yuan would have to risk his life for some merit points, he naturally would not wish for that. Merit points, for Lin Yuan, have a stable path of acquisition, and there's no need to take any unnecessary risks. As the first medium-sized otherworldly battlefield to be developed, it will be under the watch of a supreme being. Scholar Yuan only needs to focus on fighting the 8th layer strong ones of the different species. The goddess of freedom spoke again. Giving Lin Yuan's importance to human civilization, now that the goddess of freedom had agreed to let Lin Yuan go to the battlefield, it naturally followed extensive deduction, ensuring that there would be no real risk of death for Lin Yuan. Previously, when Lin Yuan had yet to step into the 7th rank, he wanted to venture into a medium-sized otherworldly battlefield but was stopped by the goddess of wisdom. It was because, at that time, Lin Yuan had a minimal chance of encountering insurmountable dangers in the medium-sized otherworldly battlefield that could involve the original body of his avatars. Only 8th layer strong ones of the different species? Lin Yuan's face revealed a smile. Then I agree. Lin Yuan nodded. With his current strength, not to mention he was the first in the 8th layer in the history of human civilization, perhaps even among all the 8th layer individuals throughout the history of the starry sky races, none could compare to him. In that battle in the Milky Way star region, Lin Yuan had not regained full strength nor had he displayed all his power. Even so, It still shook the internal units of human civilization, and the shock experienced by the surrounding different species was probably even more profound. Lin Yuan's true combat power had long since broken the threshold of the 9th rank. As for what level within the 9th rank he was, only a battle could reveal that. Upon receiving Lin Yuan's consent, the goddess of freedom immediately contacted the invincible 8th layer evolver on the B0001 battlefield. Not long after, they were required to meet in the virtual world to discuss the specific requirements for making a move. Void interpretation. Lin Yuan once again started to contemplate the tome left by the Moyu Tower Master. It's truly profound. Lin Yuan was somewhat engrossed. Void interpretation, comprised of 3,333 characters, each seemingly containing endless information. Each time Lin Yuan contemplated, he could discern new aspects of the essence of space from the same character. In the blink of an eye, Lin Yuan had contemplated for several days. The 7,132nd spatial model, Lin Yuan opened his eyes, his thoughts stirred slightly, and strands of spatial force converged before him, quickly forming an incredibly complex spatial model. Just over 500 more spatial models and I can fully comprehend the complete space rules. Lin Yuan let out a breath, while also sensing the weariness in his soul. Void interpretation was on such a high level that Lin Yuan's prolonged contemplation took a great toll on his heart force, making it impossible to maintain for long periods. This had nothing to do with against heaven's understanding, it was primarily due to Lin Yuan himself. If his heart force were sufficient, he could continue contemplating indefinitely. Let's take a look at the virtual world. Lin Yuan connected his consciousness to the virtual world, intending to relax for a while. Founder's virtual world. Lin Yuan's consciousness directly entered. This virtual world was specifically created for the founders of many paths of evolution within human civilization, serving as a place for the founders to communicate daily. Lin Yuan had just entered the founder's world. The great scholar Te appeared beside Lin Yuan. In the public area of the founder's world, every founder had the right to enter. Kid, it's been a long time since you've been online. The great scholar Te looked Lin Yuan over, and asked with slight curiosity. The great scholar Te was exceptionally curious about Lin Yuan. If not for the goddess of wisdom's intervention and warning, he would have likely used some methods to forcibly pull out Lin Yuan's real identity. I've been a bit busy, Lin Yuan replied truthfully. It was more than just a bit. The things Lin Yuan needed to do were simply too numerous. Void interpretation, fusion rules, the 9 floors dark tower, and so forth. Each required a great deal of time and energy. Being busy is good. The great scholar Te nodded. By the way, in a while, the Molong scholar plans to create a virtual world specifically to discuss the essence of the space rules and rule of time. Are you interested in going? The great scholar Te glanced at Lin Yuan. The Molong scholar was one of the few scholars in the founder's virtual world who openly revealed their identity. The reason for this was that the Molong scholar was one of the most top-tier and ancient scholars within human civilization. His identity, even when made public, would not be affected. The essence of the rule of time and space rules? Lin Yuan's eyes lit up. So far, he had no particular interest in the rule of time, but space rules? Even with the void interpretation left by the demonic Jade Tower Master, Lin Yuan wouldn't mind accessing more powerful beings' understanding and views on space. Interested in going? I have an invitation. The great scholar Te asked again. Not just anyone could listen to the Molong scholar's discourse. Only those who were evolvers at the scholar level could receive an invitation. Of course, if a particular evolving scholar didn't want to participate, they could also gift their invitation to other founders. The great scholar Te had such a plan in mind. If Lin Yuan asked a second time, he would not mind giving him the invitation. Invitation? Lin Yuan paused slightly. Immediately, a virtual screen appeared, and upon opening the mail section, an invitation from the Molong scholar was displayed. Are you referring to this invitation? Lin Yuan turned to look at the great scholar Te. You. The great scholar Te blinked several times, scrutinizing the invitation before finally turning to Lin Yuan in disbelief. When did you become a scholar too? Chapter 515 Comprehending the Complete Space Rules, subscription requested. The reason Molong Scholar only sent invitation letters to scholars of the Evolver level is that the essence of space and time he speaks of is very difficult for founders below the level of a scholar to comprehend. Even listening for a while longer can create cognitive barriers and affect their own understanding of space and time. Without reaching a certain height, forcibly knowing information of that height often has the opposite effect. Great Scholar Te planned to give the invitation to Lin Yuan because through their interactions over time, he confirmed that Lin Yuan's aptitude and comprehension were extremely formidable. It would be more beneficial than harmful if he could have the opportunity to listen to Molong Scholar's lecture. That was the reason for their conversation just now. Anyhow, Great Scholar Te himself wasn't particularly interested in Molong Scholar's lecture since he had heard it many times before, and missing it once was no big deal. But Lin Yuan was different. In Great Scholar Te's eyes, Lin Yuan was a newcomer, his junior, who had never been in touch with Molong Scholar before. As a founding scholar and predecessor within human civilization, Great Scholar Te felt it was his duty to look after Lin Yuan. However, when Great Scholar Te saw that Lin Yuan had an invitation identical to his own, he became somewhat stupefied. An invitation meant only for Evolver scholars appeared in Lin Yuan's hands? What was going on? Great Scholar Te's thoughts whirled, and he immediately thought of the only possibility. That was that Lin Yuan was also an Evolver scholar. That was why he had said, "When did you become a scholar too?" After all, in Great Scholar Te's eyes, Lin Yuan had definitely not been an Evolver scholar before. Otherwise, the goddess of wisdom would not have prevented him from retrieving Lin Yuan's information so adamantly. After giving some perfunctory responses to Great Scholar Te for a while, Lin Yuan disconnected from the virtual world. Lin Yuan felt indifferent about Great Scholar Te discovering his true identity. Every Evolver scholar of human civilization is absolutely trustworthy. Just pioneering a stable evolution path at the 8th layer is merely a prerequisite to becoming an Evolver scholar. Molong Scholar, Lin Yuan looked at the golden invitation letter once more. He hadn't taken it seriously when he first received it because Lin Yuan was still too young. Having not experienced many things, he was unaware of what Molong Scholar's lectures meant, and the three goddesses would not always remind him. Furthermore, the invitation letter did not mention anything about the rule of time or complete space rules. If it weren't coming from Molong Scholar, Lin Yuan might not even have given it a second glance. I might as well listen when the time comes, Lin Yuan thought, deciding it would not be a waste of time. As Evolver scholars of human civilization focusing on specific research domains, if supreme beings represent the height of human civilization, then scholars represent its depth. The goddess of freedom has already communicated, and now the invincible Evolvers of the 8th layer on battlefield B0001 would like to meet with me and discuss in detail? Upon receiving the message from the goddess of freedom, Lin Yuan immediately agreed. The so-called discussion was naturally to take place in the virtual world. Its content would be about confirming Lin Yuan's approach, when to take action, and which of the Tianyu clan's powerhouses to deal with, among other things. All these needed to be determined through prior communication. As the invited party, Lin Yuan received a substantial amount of merit points as remuneration and naturally had to actively cooperate. In a virtual world, stood a majestic, grand palace. The short, stout elder and a group of invincible beings from battlefield B0001 who were at the 8th layer had long been waiting there. Galactic Star Master should be coming soon. Not sure if the Galactic Star Master is easy to talk to. I actually have some ties with Chikuan Star Lord, the teacher of Galactic Star Master. Chikuan Star Lord is forthright, so I expect the Galactic Star Master to be straightforward. The many invincibles within the palace murmured to each other in low voices. Galactic Star Master was indeed very powerful, capable of killing 2 invincibles of the 8th layer, but the enemies they were about to face were many strong members of the Tianyu clan, a peak clan. If 1 or 2 invincibles at the 8th layer couldn't match Galactic Star Master, what about 10 or 8 of them? Galactic Star Master would definitely have to pay a price to hold them off. If Galactic Star Master was unwilling to pay that price and didn't work hard enough, then it would be their headache. After all, they couldn't dare to demand that Galactic Star Master must hold back the many strong beings of the Tianyu clan. That request would be too much. Who knew how many invincibles at the 8th layer the Tianyu clan could mobilize? As one of the peak clans, the Tianyu clan certainly had the capability to bring hundreds of invincible 8th layer powerhouses over. And each invincible powerhouse at the 8th layer working together with various secret treasures could unleash terrifying power. Suddenly, a figure appeared out of nowhere in the palace, his gaze serene, looking at the many invincible evolvers with a smile and saying, "Hello everyone, I am the Galactic Star Master." Galactic Star Master. Greetings, Galactic Star Master. Over here, Galactic Star Master. One after another, the invincibles at the 8th layer immediately showed their enthusiasm. After all, they were relying on Lin Yuan in the upcoming war, so naturally, they couldn't be indifferent now. Galactic Star Master, the short, stout elder spoke with a solemn expression, looking sincerely at Lin Yuan. Baiyun Lord, Lin Yuan nodded slightly. This short, stout elder, named Baiyun, was the Star Lord of the Baiyun Star Domain. The cosmic force he had mastered might not be a high-level cosmic force, but among ordinary cosmic forces, it was quite powerful. Many invincible beings at the 8th layer in the B0001 exotic battlefield generally regarded Baiyun Lord as their leader. Chapter 516 Comprehending the Complete Space Rules, Subscription Requested, _2. Now, let me introduce the battlefield situation to the Galactic Star Master, Baiyun Lord said. Please do, Lin Yuan nodded. Currently, on the battlefield, the Tianyu clan holds the advantage, with 67 invincible experts of the 8th layer, and in addition 212 layer A war machines, as well as 2,300 normal 8th layer experts. Up to now, we human evolvers can only struggle to counter the Tianyu clan's offensive. However, in the upcoming all-out war, if nothing changes, I estimate that our human side will be defeated. Baiyun Lord's voice was grave. Once the Tianyu clan was victorious, the evolvers of human civilization would face a great escape. Even those who were invincible at the 8th layer could not guarantee their safe retreat. It's almost impossible for one 8th layer invincible being to be defeated by another of the same rank. However, on the battlefields of different races, due to obvious space fluctuations, those at the 8th layer cannot use instant translocation abilities. Once trapped in an encirclement by multiple opponents of the same rank, even an 8th layer invincible might face the possibility of falling. Of course, the 8th layer invincibles who dare to enter the battlefield are mostly avatars, but cultivating an avatar that is close to the strength of the original is not an easy task. The fall of an avatar is a huge loss for the original. After all, to maintain the combat power of an avatar, it's necessary to carry weapons of the same rank. And these weapons are not cheap. So that's how it is, Lin Yuan nodded. The situation was as he had expected. If human civilization was in an advantageous position on the battlefield, there would be no need to request his assistance with a large payment of merit points. How much time do we have before the all-out war begins? Lin Yuan inquired. It's estimated to be between 5 and 10 years. Baiyun Lord pondered for a moment and said, the Tianyu clan would need a considerable amount of time to mobilize for a full-scale war, and Baiyun Lord guessed it would be at least 5 years. If any unexpected events occurred, it might even take 10 years. I understand, Lin Yuan nodded. I will rush to the battlefield within 5 years. Naturally, Lin Yuan's rush to the battlefield meant that his avatar would, while his true body would still sit at the Milky Way main star. Although Lin Yuan's primordial spirit, unlike the doppelganger skill practiced by other human evolvers, wouldn't die if the original fell, the resurrection would happen within the primordial spirit. However, Lin Yuan's true original body had too many things to do and naturally couldn't afford to go to the battlefield. Indeed, with Lin Yuan's current strength, even as an avatar, without the enhancement of 100 million Li inner world, he could still crush all 8th layer invincibles. Thank you, Galactic Star Master. Baiyun Lord immediately expressed his gratitude. However, which of the Tianyu clan's experts does the Galactic Star Master plan to deal with? Baiyun Lord asked. The power of the invincibles of the Tianyu clan varied in strength, So Baiyun Lord needed to confirm the range of Lin Yuan's targets. How many can you handle? Lin Yuan asked. We can probably deal with 50 of the Tianyu clan's 8th layer invincibles, Baiyun Lord said after pondering for a while. No problem. Leave the rest of the 8th layer invincibles to me, Lin Yuan nodded. The rest are nearly 28th layer invincibles, Baiyun Lord was somewhat surprised. He originally thought Lin Yuan would find it challenging since nearly 28th layer invincibles, even just to hold off, would be incredibly unbelievable. If Lin Yuan hadn't achieved the impressive feat of slaying 2 8th layer invincibles, Baiyun Lord would have found it absurd. Rest assured, I know what I'm doing, Lin Yuan said. Even as an avatar, mastering dozens of cosmic forces would allow him to unleash combat power that could surpass a union of 28th layer invincibles. Furthermore, based on Lin Yuan's estimation, in 5 years, with the aid of void interpretation, he would likely have fully grasped the complete space rules. By then, his combat power would increase even further. It was known that for an 8th layer being to comprehend the complete space rules was much harder than understanding a particular cosmic force. At the same time, an 8th layer being who comprehended the complete space rules would be stronger than the invincible ones of the same rank. In history, every 8th layer being who had grasped the complete space rules at that level was able to intimidate the other invincibles of their rank. Qikuan Main Star. Lin Yuan's Taiyang Divine Spirit emerged from the 13 peaks and headed toward the B0001 exotic battlefield. Leaving the Taiyang Divine Spirit on the Qikuan Main Star was primarily to prevent extreme situations where Lin Yuan's true body might perish, allowing him to resurrect and return at the fastest speed. In fact, even without the Taiyang Divine Spirit stationed on the Qikuan Main Star, Lin Yuan could still resurrect. After all, aside from the Taiyang Divine Spirit, Lin Yuan had also left a drop of his essence blood on the Qikuan Main Star. By utilizing the physical body divine ability Blood Rebirth, Lin Yuan could still resurrect, though without the assistance of the Taiyang Divine Spirit, the resurrection process would be somewhat slower. In fact, not just on the Qikuan Main Star, Lin Yuan had left a drop of his essence blood in many hidden places, serving as a backup for resurrection. It will probably take 3 years to reach the B0001 battlefield. The Taiyang Divine Spirit boarded the spaceship, continuously performing wormhole shuttle, rapidly heading toward its target. Milky Way Main Star. Lin Yuan's consciousness descended into his inner world. World Tree. Lin Yuan gazed at a young tree rooted in the world center. Compared to the very beginning, the world tree was no longer young, standing nearly 10 meters tall. Its branches swayed, emanating the gentle cosmic force, continually harmonizing the many energies and rules within the inner world. It truly deserves the human civilization's designation as 11-star top-grade cosmic rare treasure. Lin Yuan looked toward the world tree, a smile appearing on his face. In human civilization's evaluation of various treasures and rarities, the world tree was ranked as 11-star, and it was a premium among the 11-star rarities. To think, the Thunder Heart that Lin Yuan had previously purchased for over 10,000 cubic universe crystals was only an 8-star rarity, an 11-star rarity. Furthermore, a premium 11-star would probably make even supreme beings envious. With the world tree anchoring the inner world, I also need to purchase any more cosmic rare treasures, Lin Yuan secretly thought to himself. Integrating many cosmic rare treasures into the inner world aimed at bringing the inner world closer to a true world, but with the world tree's suppression, the inner world was already hardly any different from a real world. Time passed by. In the blink of an eye, 3 years had gone by. Milky Way Main Star. Lin Yuan sat cross-legged, with silver-white characters continuously flashing through his mind. Space. Lin Yuan, too, was comprehending, feeling the vastness of space more and more. The main world universe starry sky belonged to space, and even beyond the universe was still considered space. Even if one were to fully comprehend the complete space rules, it would merely be grasping one aspect of the vast space. The demonic Jade Tower Master's understanding of space has transcended any particular aspect. Though it's not as straightforward as the space model in explaining the essence of space, at higher levels, void interpretation is still more helpful to me, Lin Yuan faintly felt that he had grasped one facet of the essence of space. The many space models of human civilization were more broadly disseminated, making them more acceptable and understandable for evolvers, while the void interpretation written by the demonic Jade Tower Master, without the talent and insight for space, it was estimated that one couldn't even begin to comprehend it. The 7,779th kind of space model, the 7,780th kind of space model, the 7,781st kind of space model, Lin Yuan felt his grasp and understanding of space skyrocketing at a tremendous speed. 3 years of contemplating void interpretation greatly aided Lin Yuan. Even if it was just a period of contemplation followed by a period of rest, it had an indelible impact on Lin Yuan's understanding of the essence of space rules. Time flew by. Another 5 days passed in the blink of an eye. Lin Yuan suddenly opened his eyes, looking up into the depths of the cosmic starry sky, where all space unfolded before him like sheets of paper. Lin Yuan could even effortlessly tear through one of these sheets and appear before a distant and separate sheet. Great transference skill. This is the great transference skill. Lin Yuan chuckled softly to himself. Having penetrated the complete space rules, he could traverse hundreds of light years in a single step. This was the great transference skill. Marvelous, truly indescribable. Lin Yuan sighed, now thoroughly comprehending one aspect of space, mastering the complete space rules. Chapter 517 Black Tower Second Layer. Please subscribe. Space rules, one of the pillars that the universe relies on for its operation. What are pillar rules? Without space rules, the universe would become imperfect or even collapse. All existence, all things, must rely on space. It is the foundation of everything. Having fully mastered space rules, even if just one aspect, Lin Yuan's perception of the outside world has drastically changed. Before grasping space rules, Lin Yuan was like a fish in water, limited to its immediate surroundings. But after mastering space rules, it was as though he leapt out of the water, able to see more, to look further. Space rules, perhaps not as mystical as the rule of time, which can reverse the flow and resurrect the dead, but its permeation into all things is much deeper. Lin Yuan thought to himself. Only now has he fully reached the 9th rank, without mastering space rules, even if his combat power surpassed the threshold of the 9th rank. Fighting against another 9th rank powerhouse, they could come and go as they pleased, using their manipulation of space to toy with Lin Yuan at higher levels. Like a whale living at the bottom of the ocean, despite its immense strength, it cannot threaten the life on land. Mastering space is just the beginning. Next, I must fuse the Taiji rule with many cosmic forces with the complete space rules, to carve my own path. Excitement swelled within Lin Yuan. The path of the 9th rank was almost at hand, only the final integration of the fusion rules was needed to step into the 9th rank. In the 10,000 races of the cosmic starry sky, the 9th rank truly represents a profound existence. Many weak and ordinary clans' most powerful ancestors are only at this level. My inner world? Lin Yuan's consciousness descended into his inner world, only to discover that his once billion-mile inner world had once again started to expand greatly. Fortunately, Lin Yuan had anticipated this and took out the Tai micro-clear crystal he had prepared in advance, merging it into his inner world. The sound of rushing water. It wasn't long before. The inner world expanded to a size of 1.31 billion miles in diameter. The dense world force operated, where ordinary 8th layer invincibles would be crushed in the presence of such a vast world force, unable to even resist. With the current support of my inner world, fully absorbing the green liquid from the mysterious gourd should pose no difficulty. Lin Yuan thought to himself, having attempted to absorb the green liquid in recent years, but always stuck at the final hurdle, now likely to easily cross it. First, absorb the green liquid. Lin Yuan's consciousness returned to the outside world, took out the gray-green gourd, tipped it upside down, and began the absorption. Thousands of light years from the B0001 exotic battlefield. A black space vessel finished its wormhole shuttle and revealed itself. That's the B0001 exotic battlefield? Lin Yuan, inside the space vessel, Look towards the massive object thousands of light-years away. The B0001 exotic battlefield, the first medium-sized otherworldly battlefield established by human civilization, spans about 12 light-years. Powerful 8th-layer invincibles can also fight to their heart's content on this battlefield, without the need to hold back. Forget it, they'll just use the great transference skill for the remaining journey. Lin Yuan stepped out of the space vessel having grasped complete space rules. Even a simple great transference skill could span hundreds of light-years without any cooldown time, much more efficient than the vessel's wormhole shuttle. Of course, using great transference to travel consumes a lot of energy, so if not in a hurry, it's better to travel via ship and wormhole shuttle. Lin Yuan decided to use the great transference skill to travel, as he was only a few thousand light-years away and wanted to experience the sensation of using the skill for travel. Whoosh! Edge of the B0001 battlefield. Lin Yuan's figure appeared, looking at the battlefield ahead. The spatial fluctuations are significant, far richer than those on the medium-sized otherworldly battlefield where the Taiyin primordial spirit is located, Lin Yuan thought to himself. The spatial fluctuations on the otherworldly battlefield arise from the constant battles of countless strong beings, as well as the presence of permanent spatial rifts. As the oldest of the otherworldly battlefields, in the distant past, the intensity of the battles often escalated, with 10th-rank evolvers wielding supreme weapons personally entering the fray and tearing open permanent spatial rifts wider and longer than those on other medium-sized otherworldly battlefields. The spatial rifts on ordinary small-sized otherworldly battlefields are about 10 meters to several tens of meters wide, while those on medium-sized otherworldly battlefields generally exceed 10,000 meters, ranging from 10,000 to 20,000 meters. And the largest permanent spatial rift on the B0001 battlefield reaches 30,000 meters. This is not an ordinary rift but a permanent spatial rift, an injury that even the inherent motion of the universe cannot heal. Let's check out that 30,000-meter long permanent spatial rift first. Lin Yuan suppressed his aura and moved towards the target location. While on an otherworldly battlefield with obvious spatial fluctuations, it's best not to use the great transference skill, even if one has mastered complete space rules. Because it's easy to be affected by the fluctuating space, leading to deviation from the destination, or even a temporary loss amidst the depths of numerous spatial layers. Milky Way main star. Lin Yuan suddenly opened his eyes, with the green flames inside his body burning wildly, before settling back down to tranquility. Finally completed the absorption. Lin Yuan's consciousness descended once more into his inner world, and gazing at the quietly expanded 332 billion-mile vast realm, his face showed satisfaction. Normally, human evolvers who have mastered complete space rules have an inner world limit of 10 million miles in diameter, while those special beings with peak bloodlines, like the starry sky wanderer Kuan or other unique spatial entities, have an upper limit of several tens of millions of miles. Chapter 518 Black Tower Second Layer, please subscribe. _2 Having an inner world that surpasses 100 million miles when at the 8th layer, it's surmised that only those special life forms whose numbers are so scarce that they can't even form a tribe can achieve such a feat. The universe is fair, nurturing all beings and creatures. The more powerful the talent and bloodline of a life form, the lower and more difficult its ability to reproduce. Human civilization possesses terrifying reproductive capabilities, but the majority of talents are mediocre. The talent and bloodline of the starry sky wanderer Kuan are mighty, but reproduction is extremely difficult. Yet, no matter how hard it is, the starry sky wanderer Kuan can barely form a group. As for some special life forms, they're so rare that they can't even form a tribe, and their terrifying talents cannot be discussed with common sense. In the depths of the cosmic starry skies, many ancient gods who dominate their domain were born this way. Next is a blue liquid. Lin Yuan flipped his right hand, and the mysterious gourd appeared in front of him. At this moment, the color on the surface of the mysterious gourd began to change slowly, from the previous gray-green to gray-blue. Absorb! Lin Yuan inverted the gourd, and a drop of profound blue liquid dripped out. Once the blue liquid was ingested, It turned into pure blue flames, starting to burn Lin Yuan's internal organs. Several days passed. Lin Yuan had attempted several times, and his inner world had expanded to a circumference of 145 million miles. The next increase won't happen at this fast pace. It was only because Lin Yuan's inner world had reached its fundamental limit that he could double the base size in such a short time. He would have to slowly increase it afterward, bit by bit, adapting to the burning of the blue flames. After these years, I've finally amassed another 30 strands of world-breaking origin force. Lin Yuan's spirit descended into his mind, sensing the quantity of world-breaking origin force. Before the 8th traversal, Lin Yuan had accumulated 36 strands of world-breaking origin force. Arriving at the spirit realm consumed 10 strands, carrying the mysterious gourd and origin fine gold used up 2 strands. At the end of the 8th traversal, he was left with 24 strands of world-breaking origin force. And as years passed recently, Lin Yuan's world-breaking origin force had once again reached 30 strands. There's no rush for the 9th traversal. Lin Yuan pondered as he was currently at a critical period of fusing rules. Attempting a traversal at this time would only affect the timing of his breakthrough to the 9th rank. It would be better to consider traversing again after making the breakthrough to the 9th rank and hitting a temporary bottleneck in his cultivation. After all, for Lin Yuan, cultivating in any place, whether by traversing worlds or staying in the main world, would allow him to rapidly enhance his strength. The greatest benefit of traversing worlds for Lin Yuan was the opportunity to see cultivation systems beyond the main world and to gain advantages through the differences in dimensional layers. For example, in the spirit realm, there was no suppression of cosmic force. Lin Yuan took the opportunity to comprehend dozens of cosmic forces, more than a dozen high-level cosmic forces, and even one source-level cosmic force. If this were in the main world, it would hardly be possible, and even if Lin Yuan tried to force it with his against heaven's understanding, it would waste a lot of time and disrupt later cultivation. In the spirit realm, many powers of creation were placed in front of Lin Yuan, tantamount to having the correct direction, which naturally made his comprehension quicker. But in the main world, cosmic forces could not be replicated. Lin Yuan would have to start comprehending from scratch, and he might even take the wrong path in the end. Now that I've thoroughly comprehended the space rules, I might as well try to challenge the second layer of the Black Tower. Lin Yuan felt a slight stir in his heart. In the past few years, when he challenged the second layer of the Black Tower, his goal had been solely to refine his use of cosmic force. He never even thought about getting through. But now, Lin Yuan wanted to give it a try. Comprehending the complete space rules was a qualitative change for Lin Yuan, and it was an all-around transformation. Aspects such as killing, defense, and survival all received a qualitative improvement. An 8th-layer powerhouse, just by comprehending the complete space rules, could give those invincible 8th layers a hard time. Even if many invincible 8th layers were to gang up, they wouldn't stand a chance against a being who possessed the complete space rules. A life form that has comprehended the space rules can travel through countless spatial layers with a single thought, and those invincible 8th layers probably couldn't even touch them. A sliver of Lin Yuan's spirit will traveled through the magic jade mark and arrived in an instant at the demon jade space. Before the towering 9 floors dark tower, stone statue Xianxia looked at Lin Yuan with a smile and said, "Here to challenge the second layer again?" In these past few years, Lin Yuan would come to challenge the second layer of the Black Tower whenever he had a rest, and stone statue Xianxia had long grown accustomed to it. Watching Lin Yuan challenge the second layer was one of the few pleasures in its monotonous and lengthy existence. Much better than falling into a near-eternal slumber. Lin Yuan nodded. The next moment, Lin Yuan arrived at the second layer of the Black Tower. Stone statue Xianxia was still standing outside the Black Tower, with scenes from within the second layer appearing before it. I wonder how long this little guy plans to hone his cosmic force. Stone statue Xianxia silently pondered. Lin Yuan, through the second layer of the Black Tower, had been honing his cosmic force, which it had long noticed. Boom! The moment Lin Yuan appeared on the second layer, a heavy pressure assaulted him from all directions. If it were before, Lin Yuan would certainly have immediately activated a variety of cosmic forces to resist, as the pressure from the second layer was not something that a mere flicker of spirit will could withstand. But now, after mastering the complete space rules, with just a thought, Lin Yuan formed an absolute space around himself. Absolute space was a high-level application of the power of space, eliminating the encroaching pressure from the spatial dimension. Around Lin Yuan, it seemed only a few meters in range, but in essence, it was separated by countless spatial layers. An ordinary 8th rank evolver, when faced with absolute space, would not be able to come close, let alone attack. All attacks would be trapped within the layers of space. An 8th rank life that masters complete space rules might not be able to kill an invincible 8th rank, but it could certainly make an invincible 8th rank very miserable. Like banishing an invincible 8th rank deep into the spatial layers. There, without the distinction of up, down, left, or right, it would not be easy for an invincible 8th rank to break free, possibly being trapped for decades. I don't even need to use cosmic force? Lin Yuan raised an eyebrow. At this moment, he stood on the second layer, the space around him faintly twisting, diluting and dissipating all the pressure that bore down on him. However, Lin Yuan was also aware that he was currently at the initial position of the second layer. The closer he moved to the central staircase, the greater the surrounding pressure would become. Eventually, relying solely on absolute space, it would be difficult to perfectly resist all the pressure. Especially upon entering the central area, where endless pressure would condense into virtual creatures, attacking Lin Yuan. Let's see how far I can go. Lin Yuan didn't have much confidence in overcoming the second layer of the Black Tower. Mainly after comprehending the complete space rules, his strength had greatly increased, and he wanted to try it out. Success would be great, but failure didn't matter either. Lin Yuan roughly used the second layer of the Black Tower as a benchmark to test his strength according to stone statue Xianxia. Those who could get through the second layer of the Black Tower were basically the strong among the 9th rank. Although it said that the many methods of a 9th rank life form were not just about mastering various rules and cosmic forces, it was also an important aspect. If Lin Yuan could make his way through the second layer of the Black Tower, even if he couldn't be considered one of the strongest among the 9th rank, he would be stronger than more than half of them. Outside the 9 floors Dark Tower, stone statue Xianxia was keenly watching Lin Yuan's performance. Every time Lin Yuan came to challenge the second layer of the Black Tower, it would pay close attention, a way to relieve its boredom. However, when it saw that Lin Yuan was able to easily withstand the heavy pressure from the second layer of the Black Tower just by standing there without the aid of cosmic force, it was suddenly stupefied. This stone statue Xianxia carefully observed Lin Yuan, particularly noting the slightly twisted space around him. Did this little guy comprehend the complete space rules? The stone statue felt bewildered. It remembered that a few years back, Lin Yuan's understanding of the space rules was not to say average, but definitely far from complete mastery. How had he suddenly comprehended it now? Chapter 519 No Harm, the Galaxy Master is watching us. Just fight freely, ask for subscription. The stone statue Xianxia had already greatly overestimated Lin Yuan. Over 2,000 years old, cultivated to the 8th layer, comprehended dozens of cosmic forces, and more than 10 high-level cosmic forces. There was also a source-level cosmic force. Such a monstrous freak, no matter which universe it was placed in, would be deemed shockingly unconventional and utterly unique. But even so, how could he comprehend the space rules so quickly? Those aren't ordinary rules, they're pillar rules. The stone statue Xianxia found it unbelievable. It knew that the void interpretation left by the Moyu Tower Master would definitely bring great help to Lin Yuan. But at most, it was only help. It wasn't the Moyu Tower Master himself comprehending the space rules. Mainly it still depended on Lin Yuan himself. The void interpretation was profound and difficult to understand. If one couldn't comprehend it, instead of helping, it might even make things worse. How can there be such? The stone statue Xianxia muttered to itself, seemingly unable to find the words to describe Lin Yuan. The second layer of the Black Tower. Lin Yuan used absolute space to isolate the inside from the outside, diluting and dispelling all the pressure that enveloped him. He quickly crossed 1/3 of the distance. As he delved deeper, the pressure all around became increasingly heavy and terrifying. One by one, ethereal creatures condensed, lunging at Lin Yuan with bared fangs and brandished claws. "I can't hold back anymore." Lin Yuan's heart sank, and he immediately began to activate cosmic force. It was as if an endless pressure swept over him, and even with absolute space, it was difficult to completely isolate it, requiring the use of stronger measures. One after another, the cosmic forces combined, with more than 10 high-level cosmic forces as the main body, and the primordial origin force as the core, all cosmic forces perfectly merged into one. For years, Lin Yuan had often used the pressure of the second layer of the Black Tower to hone himself, to refine his use of cosmic force, naturally not without gain. This method of merging all cosmic forces was Lin Yuan's greatest achievement, allowing the power of each type of cosmic force to nearly double in strength. Lin Yuan, under the attack of one ethereal creature after another, strode towards the center. Outside the 9 floors dark tower, stone statue Xianxia paid close attention to the situation in the second layer of the Black Tower. If he's relying solely on these, it would be very difficult to get through the second layer. Stone statue Xianxia whispered to itself. It used very difficult to express its opinion. Very difficult but not impossible. After witnessing Lin Yuan's short period of comprehending the complete space rules, stone statue Xianxia didn't dare to be too certain about anything for fear of being proven wrong later. There was no helping it, Lin Yuan had already created too many miracles. So now it took any view with a degree of uncertainty. The pressure towards the back of the second layer will grow ever greater. Stone statue Xianxia thought to itself, many 9th rank beings could often traverse the first 2/3 of the distance. But in the last third, they would be crushed, leading to a failed trial. With the manner Lin Yuan was exhibiting, he was very likely to end up much like those 9th rank beings who failed their trials. After all, 9th rank lives that could break through the second layer of the Black Tower found the first 2/3 of the journey quite easy. The second layer of the Black Tower. Lin Yuan's steps increasingly slowed, and when he reached the last third of the distance, the horrifying pressure felt almost tangible, filling every inch of the vacuum. Without using the strengthening divine ability, it's very difficult for me to penetrate the second layer with my own strength. Lin Yuan inwardly sighed, with the Black Tower's second layer proving itself to be especially prepared for 9th rank lives. He had comprehended the complete space rules and mastered so many cosmic forces, yet there was no hope to break through. Let's see further. Walk a few more steps. If the timing is right, then use the strengthening divine ability. Lin Yuan reined in his thoughts, as such divine ability could only be maintained for the duration of 10 breaths, so he had to get as close as possible. Otherwise, he would be terribly at a loss if the divine ability's duration ended and he was just a bit short of breaking through. The strengthening divine ability was not the same as absolute space or cosmic force. It required Lin Yuan to pay a significant short-term price. You wouldn't want to fail to get through the second layer and then find yourself weakened. Lin Yuan trudged painfully through. After half an hour, he arrived at a position about 50 meters from the central area. At this point, Lin Yuan could almost be described as unable to take a step further, with the extreme pressure locking him firmly in place. If it weren't for absolute space and the many merged cosmic forces isolating him, Lin Yuan guessed he would be crushed in an instant. Only 50 meters left, that's enough. Lin Yuan steadied his spirit and slowly closed his eyes. At the same time, on the Milky Way main star, Lin Yuan's true body opened his eyes. Threads of crimson aura intertwined and collided, forming a complex divine ability imprint. As soon as this divine ability imprint appeared, it quickly fused into Lin Yuan's physical soul, and in an instant, his physical vitality began to surge, increasing tenfold in strength. The physical body drove the soul, and the soul drove the spirit will, and in a moment, all of Lin Yuan leapt tenfold. In the demon jade space, the second layer of the Black Tower. The moment he actively activated the strengthening divine ability, this thread of Lin Yuan's spirit will also surge tenfold. As a result, the might of his absolute space, the power of dozens of cosmic forces, all soared at once. The strengthening divine ability only affected aspects like Lin Yuan's physical soul and spirit will. It didn't enhance the power of rules or forces like cosmic force. But the increase in spirit will affected these aspects nonetheless. Spirit will is fundamental. For example, the same level of perception of the space rules, when wielded by an 8th layer being as opposed to a 9th rank being, produces a wholly different level of might. Chapter 520 No problem. The Galaxy Master is watching over us. Just fight freely. Subscribe please. _2 Boom. After the amplification of his spirit will by tenfold, Lin Yuan immediately felt the oppressive force that had once rendered him immobile vanish in an instant. It was as if he had been freed from shackles, becoming incredibly liberated. Seize the time. Lin Yuan immediately strode forward. At this moment, the pressure enveloping from the second level of the Black Tower no longer posed any hindrance to Lin Yuan, except for a brief pause when he was just 5 meters away. In the end, it only took him 4 breaths to pass through the second level of the Black Tower. Did he really get through? Outside the 9-leveled Black Tower, the stone statue Xianxia fell silent once again. Even though it had anticipated this possibility, after all, judging by Lin Yuan's performance in mastering the space rules, it seemed that breaking through the second level of the Black Tower as an 8th layer being wasn't entirely impossible. But when the scene truly unfolded before it, Statue Xianxia was still overwhelmed with shock. His breath surged massively at the end. Did he use some kind of explosive secret technique? The stone statue Xianxia pondered, aware of the rules laid down by the Moyu Tower Master, which prohibited the use of any external forces during the challenge. However, techniques that induced a burst of power drew entirely from one's own strength and didn't count as external forces. Thus, Lin Yuan's passing through the second level of the Black Tower was within the rules. Whoosh! Stone statue Xianxia's figure vanished, reappearing in the central area of the second level of the Black Tower. At this moment, Lin Yuan was also standing there, having taken only 4 breaths to complete the final stretch through the second level. The Divine Skills Enhancement duration still had 6 breaths left. Senior Xianxia, may I go and challenge the third level? Lin Yuan did not intend to waste the remaining 6 breaths as he felt stronger than he had ever been. Sure. Seeing Lin Yuan's condition, stone statue Xianxia nodded in agreement. Then I'm heading up. Lin Yuan immediately ascended the black staircase toward the third level. 4 breaths of enhanced duration remained. As soon as Lin Yuan entered the third level, he was met with an omnipresent terrifying pressure. This pressure was so immense, it felt like a cosmos collapsing down upon him. Even with a 10-fold increase in his strength, Lin Yuan could feel an absolute void around him and numerous varieties of cosmic forces rapidly disintegrating. How can I withstand this? Lin Yuan's thoughts raced. Even during the enhanced period of his divine skills, it was tough, and once the enhancement ended and he fell into a state of weakness, the outcome was predictable. Forget it. After gauging the difficulty of the third level, Lin Yuan decisively retreated. He hadn't planned to pass the third level in this attempt, had gone up only because he didn't want to waste the divine skills enhancement, wanting to see and try it out for himself. The third level of the Black Tower is specifically designed for the extremely powerful entities among 9th rank life forms, as well as for 10th rank life. It's completely normal for you not to get through. Seeing Lin Yuan return, stone statue Xianxia couldn't help but speak. The extremely powerful entities among 9th rank life forms were akin to undefeated beings in the 8th layer. They possessed combat power that surpassed their own level. I see. Lin Yuan nodded. Not to mention getting through the third level, just staying there was enough to be overwhelmed by the pressure coming from all directions. The gap was too great. All right. Since you've passed the second level according to the rules set by the original master, you will receive a treasure from the second level's reward repository. The value of the treasure will depend on your performance on the second level. The stone statue looked at Lin Yuan and said, "Treasure?" A thrill filled Lin Yuan's heart. He had seen the many treasures in the reward repository of the Black Tower's second level, many of which were rare and unheard of in the main world. Regarding your performance on the second level, in terms of speed, you could only be considered ordinary among those who had passed through the second level in the past, stone statue Xianxia stated. Speed is indeed not fast. Lin Yuan nodded, with only the final 50 meters distance. Activating the strengthening divine skill barely involved any halting, but he couldn't be considered fast earlier, averaging out, fitting the stone statue's assessment. But in terms of strength, the stone statue conveyed a complex tone. 8th layer. Lin Yuan was merely at the 8th layer. Yet he had passed through the second layer, an event that not even in the heyday of Moyu Tower had ever occurred. Certainly, there were 8th layer lives that had made it through the second layer, even halfway through, but in the end they had all failed. No one like Lin Yuan had managed to break through. So, after a comprehensive evaluation, you can select any one treasure from the reward vault of the second layer or the third layer in the Dark Tower. The stone statue spoke with a grave tone. Compared to when Lin Yuan had passed through the first layer and could select 3 treasures from the first and second layer, this time Lin Yuan could only choose one, but you should know that this time, his range of selection has expanded to the third layer. Any single reward taken from the third layer's vault is unknowably more valuable than those from the first or the second. The stone statue Xianxia opening the third layer's reward vault to Lin Yuan was rather unconventional. But the stone statue Xianxia believed that even if the owner of Moyu Tower were to return, they would not object to his decision, as Lin Yuan's talent was monstrously outstanding. Here is the reward list. Take your time to choose. With a wave of his hand, the stone statue Xianxia caused a series of treasure phantoms to appear before him. Battlefield B000, one of different races. Lin Yuan's Taiyang primordial spirit finally arrived at this battlefield, near the largest of those eternal spatial rifts. That rift, Lin Yuan looked toward the distant terrifying rift stretching across the sky, with a length exceeding 30,000 meters, emanating an aura profound and ancient, making one's heart tremble. Let's see the enhancement in the accumulation of world-breaking origin force. Lin Yuan immediately drew closer to feel it carefully. In the medium-sized otherworldly battlefield where the Taiying primordial spirit was located, the eternal spatial rift was only 10,000 meters in length. It could not compare to the current 30,000-meter-long eternal spatial rift. A moment later, Lin Yuan opened his eyes. The current speed of accumulating world-breaking origin force is 1 strand in 150 days? A smile appeared on Lin Yuan's face. The initial accumulation speed of world-breaking origin force was 1 strand every 333 days. Leveraging the eternal spatial rift in a small battlefield, it dropped to 1 strand every 280 to 290 days. After going to a medium-sized otherworldly battlefield and relying on that 10,000-meter-long eternal spatial rift, he needed only 200 days to accumulate a strand of world-breaking origin force. Now it required only 150 days. Even if the war with the Tianyu clan comes to a pause, I should still station a primordial spirit avatar on this battlefield. Lin Yuan had made up his mind. With his current strength, even the constantly highly intense battlefield B0001 posed no threat to him. Time slowly ticked by. 2 years had flashed by in an instant. In the center of battlefield B0001, both the Tianyu clan and human civilization had arrayed their mighty armies across from each other. The Baiyun Lord and other invincible 8th layer evolvers from humanity stood under the sky, watching the Tianyu side with heavy gazes. Baiyun, the Tianyu clan seems determined to win this time, launching a full-scale offensive so swiftly, they evidently have a strong confidence in victory, said one 8th layer evolver softly. If the strength was merely equal, or if they did not hold a crushing advantage, the Tianyu clan would not hasten to a decisive battle so quickly. They would certainly accumulate as much strength as possible to improve their odds of victory. Since the opposition was so eager, it clearly had considerable confidence, thinking it could conquer the arrangements of human civilization on this battlefield. As peak clans, even if the Tianyu clan were slightly weaker than human civilization, the gap was small, and they frequently held the advantage on the battlefield. Damn it, if it weren't for our human civilization being restrained by the Insect Race Alliance and the Star Alliance, which prevents us from drawing more powerhouses, How could these bird people from the Tianyu clan seize the opportunity? Another 8th layer evolver said angrily. The battlefields expanded by human civilization generally held the upper hand, but there were occasional disadvantages. This time, for instance, human civilization decided to support several other battlefields, which inevitably led to insufficient reinforcement for the remaining ones. It doesn't matter, said the Baiyun Lord nonchalantly. The Galaxy Master has already arrived at the battlefield. He might be watching us right now. You just fight freely when it's time. Chapter 521 Crystal of Chaos. Please subscribe. The Galaxy Master is paying attention to us? The invincibles of the 8th layer on the human side were certainly concerned. Like Battlefield B0001, every moment was observed by human 9th rank or even 10th rank evolvers. But such attention was merely that, attention. To maintain the intensity of the war, even if the human side was suffering a great defeat, 9th rank and 10th rank evolvers would not step in. The Tianyu clan would do likewise, with their own 9th rank and 10th rank strongmen watching over this place. The outcome of conflicts on medium-sized otherworldly battlefields was essentially unrelated to the 9th rank, as they would not personally interfere in the battle dynamics. But the attention of the Galaxy Master. The Galaxy Master was not of the 9th rank. His attention was indeed a real boost for the human side. With the strength of the Galaxy Master, his involvement would inevitably lead to a reversal of the situation. Where is the Galaxy Master? When did the Galaxy Master arrive at the battlefield? I wasn't aware. Nonsense, the Galaxy Master is our human side's say-calming divine needle. Probably only the Baiyun Lord knows his whereabouts. Dozens of 8th rank invincibles discussed in low voices, their mood visibly relaxed. Before today, the Baiyun Lord had never revealed any news about the Galaxy Master, almost leading them to think that the invitation had encountered some problems. Even with the Galaxy Master here, we shouldn't let our guard down, the Baiyun Lord reminded, glancing at the many 8th layer invincible evolvers. The Galaxy Master was their trump card, their weapon. But everything couldn't just rely on the Galaxy Master. If in this war, their human side was initially crushed by the Tianyu clan, then how useful would the Galaxy Master be, however strong? Was he expected to take on all the 8th layer invincibles of the Tianyu clan on this battlefield alone? After reminding the 8th layer invincible evolvers, the Baiyun Lord silently thought to himself, I wonder where the Galaxy Master is right now. In fact, he knew very little about the Galaxy Master, only that 2 years ago he had received a message from him. It mentioned that he had arrived and would intervene at a critical moment. As for more, there was nothing. The Baiyun Lord also dared not disturb Lin Yuan. On the other side of battlefield B0001, a group of 8th layer invincibles from the Tianyu clan stood in the void. Leading them was an elder with 6 pairs of wings on his back, whose gaze was cold and aura daunting. The hierarchy within the Tianyu clan was clear, with one's future potential and heights locked in from birth. Those in the Tianyu clan with a pair of wings were of mediocre talent, and their heights in life would be at the 1st or 2nd layer. 2 pairs of wings, their future achievements would be at least the 3rd layer. 3 pairs of wings, their potential would not fall below the 5th layer. 4 pairs of wings, they could hope to reach the 7th layer. The wings on the back of the Tianyu clan contained many incredible abilities, almost like some special life talents. It was precisely for this reason that the Tianyu clan was among the universe's peak clans, far surpassing human civilization in quantity, but their average level was far inferior to the insect race. The number of the insect race was actually quite rare, and the vast majority were batch-produced insect race warriors. Each insect race hive was a war machine, and as long as resources were sufficient, they could truly be invincible at their tier. Leader, the number of 8th layer invincibles on the human side has not increased, a 5-winged sky feather clansman spoke softly. Oh! The 6-winged elder raised his eyebrows. It seems that the human civilization is hiding other backups, the 6-winged elder said. The Tianyu clan and human civilization had been fighting for many years and knew that the latter would not be unprepared, even as they took advantage of human civilization's inability to support itself in time by launching a comprehensive battle. But if they really felt there was no chance of victory, they would surely back down voluntarily to avoid further losses. After all, a mere medium-sized battlefield's outcome, given the scale of human civilization, would not be taken too seriously. If the humans now dared to engage actively, it indicated they definitely had a critical trump card, and this trump card was powerful enough that the humans didn't believe they would necessarily lose. Exactly, according to our think tank's analysis of this war, there are three possibilities for the actions of human civilization today. The five-winged Tianyu clan strongman spoke up. First, human civilization evolvers have obtained a 9th rank or 10th rank secret treasure capable of changing the course of battle. 9th rank, 10th rank secret treasure? The six-winged elder shook his head slightly. Normally, the 8th layer invincibles who dared appear on a battlefield, whether they were human evolvers or Tianyu clan strongmen, would not carry overly precious treasures. While invincibles of the 8th layer were difficult to kill elsewhere, on different species battlefields, especially on ancient ones like battlefield B0001, the mortality rate was still quite high. The environment of the otherworldly battlefield was unique, and coupled with many same-tier strongmen, invincibles of the 8th layer could easily falter. If an avatar died for an 8th layer invincible, that would already be a significant loss, but if the avatar was carrying a valuable treasure, it would be catastrophic. 9th rank, 10th rank secret treasures were highly valuable and, while they could significantly enhance the combat power of the 8th layer invincibles, if an 8th layer invincible bearing such artifacts perished, those treasures could end up in the enemy's hands. Thus, unless absolutely necessary, neither human civilization evolvers nor Tianyu clan strongmen would use such artifacts. However, this war found human civilization already at an absolute disadvantage, so according to the analysis of the Tianyu clan's think tank, it was possible that this might occur. Chapter 522 Crystal of Chaos. Please subscribe. _2 After all, facing a massive gap in the number of 8th layer invincibles, only 9th rank, 10th rank secret treasures have hope of bridging it. If human civilization can utilize high-level secret treasures, why can't the Tianyu clan? The six-winged elder said indifferently. Second, the human side has invited a group of invincible 8th layer to help out, but they're all lying in ambush. The five-winged Tianyu clan strongman continued. It's meaningless. The six-winged elder's tone was calm. In the face of absolute strength, there's no such thing as sneaking or ambushing. Third, the five-winged Tianyu clan strongman paused, then slowly said, the Galaxy Master might have been invited and come to this battlefield. Upon hearing this, the six-winged elder's expression became slightly heavier. Even he had heard of the Galaxy Master's prestige. After all, this was the one who had broken the myth of invincible 8th layer beings by killing 2 8th layer invincibles with his bare hands, without relying on any external force. Although those 2 8th layer invincibles did not come from peak clans, an invincible 8th layer is still an invincible 8th layer. Speaking honestly, with his strength, the six-winged elder could suppress an 8th layer invincible without a problem, but to kill one would require a high-level secret treasure. The Galaxy Master indeed poses a problem, the six-winged elder pondered, but it won't affect the overall situation. At most, he will restrain some of our clan's invincible 8th layer beings. Considering the Galaxy Master had never exposed his strength, and a sudden attack on them would indeed result in the death of some Tianyu clan 8th layer beings. But now, they were prepared for the Galaxy Master's strength, aware of his ability to kill invincible 8th layer beings. With such precautions, there were unlikely to be significant losses. At worst, they wouldn't confront the Galaxy Master head-on but just tie him down. As long as human civilization as a whole is crushed, the Galaxy Master won't be able to make any waves. Below the 30,000-meter-long eternal spatial rift, Lin Yuan's Taiyang divine spirit suddenly opened his eyes. 2 years' time, 5 strands of world-breaking origin force, this time it was really the right move. A smile appeared on Lin Yuan's face, and this eternal spatial rift on battlefield B0001, whence the origin force of a myriad worlds accumulated, reached a point where one strand could be gathered in just 150 days. Basically, one complete strand of world-breaking origin force could be accumulated in less than half a year. Lin Yuan glanced at the distance. He saw a strand of power of Taiyin converging, forming a figure. It was Lin Yuan's Taiyin primordial spirit. Having confirmed that the efficiency of this battlefield's eternal spatial rift in amplifying the accumulation of world-breaking origin force was superior to the medium-sized otherworldly battlefield where the Taiyin primordial spirit resided, Lin Yuan had the Taiyin primordial spirit leave the other battlefield and instead head to battlefield B0001 to converge with the Taiyang divine spirit. Regardless of how many eternal spatial rifts Lin Yuan was under at the same time, the absorption and accumulation of world-breaking origin force would be as if there were only one rift effective. To ensure absolute certainty, merging the two divine spirits into one to form the Taiji primordial spirit should be about right, Lin Yuan thought to himself. Given that he had agreed to help Bai Yun Lord against the Tianyu clan strongman, he naturally had to be cautious, even though the Taiji primordial spirit, which fused Taiyin and Taiyang, was still not as powerful as his true body. Yet, it still surpassed those at the initial 9th rank. After mastering complete space rules, Lin Yuan's strength had increased significantly, which applied to both divine spirits as well. Complete space rules, along with dozens of cosmic forces, meant that facing other invincible 8th-layer beings was practically a dimensional strike. These 2 years, I've been delving into the fusion rules, the fusion of space rules, Taiji rule, and other cosmic forces, which has also made considerable progress, fully capable of utilizing the new powers after the fusion rules, Lin Yuan thought silently. There are 2 benefits to this approach. First, the power formed after the fusion of rules, even if not completely fused yet, is far superior to any single method. Secondly, the new power formed by the fusion of cosmic force and space rules can completely cover up the fact that Lin Yuan has realized dozens of cosmic forces. At most, it will seem that Lin Yuan's power after rule fusion is unnaturally strong. However, in this regard, unless Lin Yuan is captured and dissected for research, no useful conclusions can be drawn. Has the war not yet commenced? Lin Yuan glanced at the central area of the battlefield, where human civilization and the Tianyu clan were in a standoff. It's almost time to make a move. Lin Yuan got up, knowing that translocation and teleportation were difficult on the battlefields of different races, so it was best to arrive as early as possible. As for the delay in absorbing world-breaking origin force, he didn't care about this bit of time. As long as the Tianyu clan was dealt with smoothly, Lin Yuan would have plenty of time to absorb the world-breaking origin force here. Milky Way main star. Lin Yuan sat cross-legged. In front of him, a crystal-clear, irregular fragment hovered. If an 8th-layer evolver or even a 9th-rank evolver were here, they would notice that within this sparkling fragment, traces of various rules flickered and flowed. The powers of various rules flashed by and then fused together perfectly before separating again, cycling endlessly in this manner. This chaos crystal is truly too marvelous. How can it so perfectly fuse such diverse forces of rules? Lin Yuan was enraptured. The chaos crystal was indeed the name of this crystal-clear, irregular crystal. It was also the treasure Lin Yuan had carefully selected from the reward vault unlocked by stone statue Xinji after he passed through the 2nd floor of the Black Tower. This chaos crystal originated from the accidental discovery by the Moyu Tower Master while passing through a mysterious place in bygone years. That place was always in a state of chaos, with countless rules continuously fusing and separating within it. Inside the chaos crystal, a scene closely mirroring that mysterious place was recreated: wood, fire, earth, metal, water, the 5 elements, light, thunder, cold, life, space, and even time. The various rules occasionally merged and occasionally split. After observing the rewards of the 2nd and 3rd levels for a long time, Lin Yuan finally selected this chaos crystal following the suggestion of statue Xinji. Because observing and understanding this chaos crystal greatly guided Lin Yuan in his upcoming fusion of the Taiji rule and various cosmic forces into the space rules. Ordinary evolvers, not to mention 8th and 9th layer evolvers, would find it extremely difficult to glean much from this chaos crystal. But Lin Yuan possessed against heaven's understanding, and the effect of this chaos crystal on him was far beyond imagination. In just 2 short years, Lin Yuan had progressed from the very beginning of his fusion process, 1/10 complete, to now half complete. All thanks to this chaos crystal. After all, in the spirit realm, it took Lin Yuan hundreds of years just to complete the initial 1/10 stage of the fusion process. Your against heaven's understanding allows you to observe and contemplate the mysterious crystal, deepening your insight into the fusion rules. Your against heaven's understanding allows you to observe and contemplate the mysterious crystal, deepening your insight into the fusion rules. Your against heaven's understanding allows you to observe and contemplate the mysterious crystal, deepening your insight into the fusion rules. Lin Yuan devoted most of his mental and spiritual energy to contemplating the chaos crystal. Choosing this chaos crystal, aside from it being a guide for his own rule fusion, was more importantly because Lin Yuan sensed that even if he stepped into the 9th or 10th rank in the future, this chaos crystal would still have a significant effect. After all, the chaos crystal's integration of numerous rules went far beyond just the space rules and many common rules. It included the rule of life and even the rule of time. The rule of time. That was a foundational rule only expected to be mastered by 10th rank and even 11th rank powerhouses. With the rule of time, even without reaching the level of a supreme being, one could achieve, in a certain sense, infinite lifespan. It's marvelous. So this is the change that occurs after integrating the space rules. Lin Yuan raised his right hand and strands of space force intertwined with Taiji force, eventually merging slowly together. But when the fusion was halfway complete, it suddenly shattered and reformed into space force and Taiji force. However, Lin Yuan was not disappointed. Through this brief fusion, he had eliminated any bottlenecks on his path ahead. There are other cosmic forces as well. Lin Yuan was about to try them one by one. Suddenly, at that moment, Lin Yuan's expression shifted slightly. Ha! Lin Yuan looked up in a certain direction. Chapter 523 The Galaxy Master Arrives. Please subscribe. The Tianyu clan has launched a war? Lin Yuan's gaze reached distantly toward the direction of the B0001 exotic battlefield. At this moment, his Taiji primordial spirit was about to arrive at the center of the battlefield, faintly perceiving the fluctuations of combat between 8th layer invincibles. As long as I can block or repel the Tianyu clan, I can at least gain 10 million merit points, Lin Yuan thought to himself. Even for an invincible of the 8th layer who spends countless years battling on the battlefields of different races, amassing such a large number of merit points is very difficult. For an evolutionary scholar like Lin Yuan, relying on the breakthrough of the 9th stage martial Tao chapter was the only way to gain an equivalent number of merit points. As for the other methods, the efficiency is too low, with time required exceeding several 100,000 to millions of years. And merit points are just Lin Yuan's guaranteed minimum gain. During the confrontation with the many strong warriors of the Tianyu clan, as long as he can kill the 8th layer invincibles of the opposing side, all the spoils of war naturally belong to Lin Yuan. Not long ago in the Milky Way star region, the 2 8th layer invincible beings of different species whom Lin Yuan killed had given him spoils of war worth nearly 500,000 cubic universe crystals. Indeed, those 2 8th layer invincibles of different species hadn't expected to die, so they carried many treasures with them, resulting in Lin Yuan's exceptionally high gains. But the number of 8th layer invincibles from the Tianyu clan on the battlefield is far more than just 2, and if the quality isn't enough, quantity will make up for it. In any case, Lin Yuan was very much looking forward to his upcoming gains. At the center of battlefield B0001, the Baiyun Lord and a 6-winged elder of the Tianyu clan stood facing each other, standing tall in the void. 2 utterly different cosmic forces, like the sea, surged tumultuously and collided relentlessly. Baiyun, you're still the same old you, your moves haven't changed at all, fighting with you is actually quite boring, the 6-winged elder sneered. Is that so? The expression of the Baiyun Lord remained unchanged. In terms of command over cosmic force, he was inferior to the 6-winged elder. The latter's cosmic force was high-level cosmic force, But the Baiyun Lord's cosmic force was special, capable of holding off the six-winged elder. Slash. The six-winged elder lifted his right hand and pressed it down toward the Baiyun Lord. Suddenly, the ferocious cosmic force converged, like an extremely sharp divine weapon, slashing down towards the Baiyun Lord. The cosmic force wielded by the six-winged elder originated from the spatial storms produced by the shattering of the void, an endless space transforming into blades, obliterating everything. You haven't changed much either, still the same few moves, the Baiyun Lord snorted coldly, and within 100 million miles around him, suddenly, clusters of white clouds appeared. The clouds intertwined and merged, colliding with and annihilating the cosmic force the six-winged elder had slashed down. In just a few breaths, a large portion of the two kinds of cosmic force vanished, the rest rapidly dissipating into the void. Baiyun has blocked it. At least he wasn't injured. The dozens of human eighth-layer invincible evolvers below let out a slight sigh of relief. The Baiyun Lord was the most powerful of the eighth-layer invincibles on their side, and even though the Galaxy Master was paying attention, they couldn't be completely useless and just wait for the Galaxy Master to intervene and save them. Ha ha ha, since that's the case, let me show you my new technique. The six-winged elder chuckled lightly. This move has only recently been comprehended from the depths of my clan's bloodline. Enjoy it. After speaking, the six-winged elder gently spread the 6 pairs of wings on his back, the pristine wings as if strumming the strings of a harp, causing the space in all directions to undulate like flowing water. The Baiyun Lord furrowed his brows. The undulating space began to assault the cosmic force around his body. The cosmic force that resembled white clouds slowly crumbled under this invisible spatial undulation, swiftly spreading toward his true body. What kind of technique is this? The Baiyun Lord's face showed a slight change. He immediately gathered his cosmic force, focusing it within a few miles of his body, barely managing to block the encroaching spatial undulation. This is troublesome. A heavy feeling settled in the heart of the Baiyun Lord. Under the spatial undulation stirred up by the six-winged elder, he was forcibly confined within a few miles. Although he was confident in blocking the six-winged elder's subsequent attacks, he clearly had no ability to intervene in the outside world. This meant the six-winged elder had already limited him, allowing himself the spare energy to deal with the human eighth-layer invincible evolvers. Up to now, you haven't used any secret treasures. It seems that this time your trump card isn't an external object but calling for reinforcements, right? The six-winged elder looked down at the Baiyun Lord and spoke indifferently. Bring out whatever reinforcements you have quickly, or it'll be too late. The six-winged elder raised his left hand and pressed down towards the other human eighth-layer invincible evolvers. But strands of spatial undulation spread like running water, quickly expanding to millions of miles. At this moment, space was like an iron box. On the human side, the evolvers, even the invincible of the eighth layer, found their flying speeds drastically reduced. Go ahead and attack. As soon as the words of the six-winged elder fell, dozens of eighth-layer invincible beings from the Tianyu clan started to approach them. Various cosmic forces erupted wildly, forming profound currents and spreading toward the side of the human evolvers. This isn't good. The Baiyun Lord, who was bound by the six-winged elder, changed his expression dramatically. The six-winged elder has the excess strength to strike, suppressing the speed of all human eighth-layer invincible evolvers in the battlefield, forcing them to face the Tianyu clan's eighth-layer invincibles head-on. This was not a good sign. Let's not talk about the number of eighth-layer invincible warriors of the Tianyu clan being higher than the human eighth-layer invincible evolvers. The six-winged elder was still by the side watching, able to strike at any time. Galaxy Master, please take action quickly. At this moment, the Baiyun Lord could only place all his hopes on Lin Yuan. Chapter 524 The Galaxy Master arrives. Subscription request. _2. Have the reinforcements not appeared yet? The six-winged elder was also carefully observing the field, on guard for an eighth-layer invincible from the humans that could appear at any moment. Whoosh, an intangible breath descended, congregating above the battlefield, where the force of the black and white yin-yang taiji coalesced into the tall figure of Lin Yuan. His gaze was profound and indifferent. Merely standing there, he began to influence the surrounding space. The six-winged elder sensed the anomaly immediately, and he looked up at Lin Yuan with an extremely solemn expression. The Galaxy Master. Galaxy Master, you've finally taken action. The Baiyan Lord also looked towards Lin Yuan, and his hanging heart finally settled down. The Galaxy Master is here? The Galaxy Master has finally arrived. We're too useless. We didn't even force out Tianyu clan's trump card, and the Galaxy Master was forced to take action. Each and every one of the human 8th layer invincibles brimmed with excitement. After all, the Galaxy Master was too powerful, not yet 100 years old and already at the 8th layer, having comprehended 3 types of high-level cosmic forces, and further having slain 2 8th layer invincible beings from a different species. In the history of human civilization, no 8th rank evolver had emerged as powerful as Lin Yuan. A progeny of a supreme being might be able to kill other 8th layer invincible beings at the 8th rank. But that would be with the aid of treasures bestowed by a supreme being. But what about the Galaxy Master? He had just one 8th layer invincible tutor, the Qikuan Starlord. The Qikuan Starlord's disciple indeed counted as significant backing for other 7th and 8th rank evolvers, but what was that to other 8th layer invincible human evolvers? The Galaxy Master had reached where he was today almost all on his own. The Galaxy Master? The 6-winged elder was equally strained. Even when the think tank of the Tianyu clan had predicted the situation, they mentioned the possibility of the Galaxy Master's appearance. But when faced with such a legendary 8th layer invincible, the 6-winged elder still felt immense pressure. This was the Galaxy Master. He broke the myth of the 8th layer invincibles, raising the ceiling for the 8th layer invincibles. In the think tank's assessment of the Galaxy Master, they determined that his chances of stepping into the 9th rank exceeded 90%. What did 90% signify? It was nearly the same as directly stating that the Galaxy Master was certain to ascend to the 9th rank. Human civilization, with its vast population, was generally far less talented than the Tianyu clan, yet it had produced such an anomalous genius, making the unparalleled talents within the Tianyu clan seem dim and lackluster. Why can't I lock onto the Galaxy Master's position? Even though he's standing there, it's as if he's in the depths of infinite spatial layers, visible but untouchable? The 6-winged elder's eyebrows twitched. He stared intently at Lin Yuan, only to find that the Lin Yuan he saw seemed unreal, like a flower in a mirror or the moon reflected on the water. The moment Lin Yuan appeared, vast spatial fluctuations enveloped the area in all directions. Under these spatial fluctuations, the ripples of space exerted by the 6-winged elder began to collapse, and the human 8th layer invincibles, who had been suppressed in speed, found themselves freed from suppression. The Baiyan Lord likewise broke free from the constraint, turning around to return to the side of the human 8th layer invincibles. After the arrival of the Galaxy Master, the highest command authority over the human civilization evolvers on the battlefield had transferred from the Baiyan Lord to the Galaxy Master. It broke my trump card so effortlessly? The 6-winged elder's expression was grave. His space ripple technique, a move he realized from the depths of his bloodline and combined with his own mastery of cosmic force, was terrifyingly powerful. With only a slight effort, it suppressed the Baiyan Lord, an experienced 8th layer invincible, but before the Galaxy Master, it seemed as fragile as thin paper. The Galaxy Master. The 6-winged elder did not retreat, believing that even if he was no match for the Galaxy Master, he would not easily be killed by him. Compared to those 2 8th layer invincibles who died at the hands of the Galaxy Master, the 6-winged elder, who came from one of the peak clans, possessed more life-saving means, and the cosmic force he had comprehended was also high level. Lin Yuan looked at the 6-winged elder with a smile. It's been quite some time since I've taken action. I hope the treasures you carry have some value, otherwise, killing you would be somewhat dull. Upon hearing this, the 6-winged elder's face turned ugly. Galaxy Master, are you so certain you can kill me? Both were 8th layer invincibles, And even if the Galaxy Master had mastered 3 types of high-level cosmic forces, he too had mastered 1 type of high-level cosmic force. And delving deeply into his own bloodline, he had also comprehended a multitude of killing moves. Did the Galaxy Master really consider him as one of those ordinary 8th-layer invincibles? When the Galaxy Master appeared, it not only caught the attention of human 8th-layer invincible evolvers. The many strong members of the Tianyu clan were also quietly tensing up. Galaxy Master? Is this not the one heralded as the first invincible of the 8th layer in the history of human civilization? I wonder what mysteries lie within the 3 higher cosmic forces he holds. Should we attack now? Haven't you seen the leader hasn't given an order? The leader probably wants to test the Galaxy Master's strength and then devise a plan to decide how many 8th layer invincibles are needed to hold off the Galaxy Master. One by one, the 8th layer invincibles of the Tianyu clan stopped attacking and stood their ground to watch. Even if they knew that the Galaxy Master possessed the combat power to kill 8th layer invincibles, they did not believe that the 6-winged elder would encounter any trouble at the hands of the Galaxy Master. At worst, he would suffer a bit and be suppressed for a while. This would also provide a better assessment of the Galaxy Master's strength. The 6-winged elder felt aggrieved in his heart as he stared fixedly at Lin Yuan. Since the Galaxy Master is so confident, I won't hold back any longer. This space secret treasure, containing the complete space rules, was refined by one of our clan's powerful 9th rank beings. I want to see, with this treasure protecting me, just how you, the Galaxy Master, plan to kill me. The 6-winged elder raised his right hand, and a silver-white cube floated in the air, slowly rotating. He had gone all out too. Such a space secret treasure would normally be a last resort, but facing the Galaxy Master, the 6-winged elder had no desire to hide it, as he would use it right from the start. Not bad at all. Your Tianyu clan, quite generous. Lin Yuan watched the silver-white cube in the hands of the 6-winged elder and nodded slightly. This treasure, although not a 9th-tier secret treasure, was worth just as much, containing the complete space rules not just as a weapon but also allowing its possessor to comprehend them. Go! The 6-winged elder activated the silver-white cube, and space around it began to fluctuate once more, with strands of space power turning into a spatial tempest that swept towards Lin Yuan. Lin Yuan watched quietly. With the silver-white cube, the 6-winged elder's strength was enough to suppress ordinary 8th layer invincibles, as the cube was an external force, equivalent to a 9th-tier secret treasure. Lin Yuan looked at the rapidly approaching spatial fluctuations, and with a mere thought, the violent space power began to calm down, the silver-white cube included, which stopped rotating and fell silent. What? The 6-winged elder couldn't believe it. The Galaxy Master's mastery over space was even greater than his when wielding the silver-white cube. With my understanding of space, combined with this space secret treasure, how could anyone suppress me so completely in the field of space? The 6-winged elder could not accept what was happening before his eyes. Unless... The 6-winged elder looked toward Lin Yuan, a preposterous thought suddenly emerging in his mind. Unless Lin Yuan had completely pierced through the complete space rules, only then could someone so overwhelmingly dominate him in the realm of space. The silver-white cube indeed contained the complete space rules, but after all, it was only a weapon, a lifeless object, and when facing someone who had fully comprehended the complete space rules, it was naturally restrained. Die! Lin Yuan looked at the 6-winged elder, whose expression had turned fearful, and without wanting to waste words, waved his hand lightly. An invisible force pierced through the void, and the 6-winged elder's form stiffened, rapidly crumbling to dust. The silver-white cube and the space bracelet fell and appeared in Lin Yuan's hand. The force fused with the complete space rules and many cosmic forces was something the 6-winged elder could not begin to resist. On the side of the Tianyu clan, the numerous 8th-layer invincible strong members fell silent. They had originally planned to see how many killing moves the 6-winged elder might force out of the Galaxy Master. But in the end, did the Galaxy Master just need to swing his sleeve, and the 6-winged elder was shattered? This power, in the high altitudes of the battlefield, within another layer of space, the 9th rank individuals of the Tianyu clan, who had been casually observing the battle, saw Lin Yuan's move and their expressions changed slightly, revealing shock. Chapter 525 Massacre, Subscription Requested, Space Rules. He has mastered the complete space rules? The Tianyu clan's 9th rank powerhouse stared at Lin Yuan, his eyes filled with astonishment. Even the 6-winged elder, who ultimately managed to guess and perceive this fact, it was naturally clear to him too. The moment the Galaxy Master instantly dispelled the silver-white cubic treasure containing the complete space rules, the only possibility was his absolute control over space. With just a thought, space is created. And this, only those who had mastered the complete space rules could achieve. Not even 100 years old, and he has comprehended the complete space rules? The Tianyu clan's 9th rank expert was somewhat stunned. The name of the Galaxy Master was also circulated among their 9th rank level, comprehending 3 kinds of high-level cosmic forces, almost inevitably becoming a 9th rank evolver. You should know which of these 9th rank powerhouses didn't go through countless hardships to enter this level. Initially, this Tianyu clan 9th rank thought that Lin Yuan's current achievements had some luck. After all, comprehending cosmic force indeed involved randomness. Cosmic forces cannot be duplicated, cannot be simulated, there are no specific paths or directions. Some brilliantly talented powerhouses might not comprehend a cosmic force in their entire life at the 8th layer, while some comparatively mediocre 8th layers might casually pick a direction and it might be a sort of cosmic force. But now, since the Galaxy Master had comprehended the complete space rules, it was different. Comprehending cosmic force might involve randomness and luck, but fully understanding the complete space rules could only rely on oneself. And amongst the 10,000 races of the cosmic starry sky, those who could comprehend the complete space rules at the 8th layer were too few, far less common than 9th and 10th rank powerhouses. This is going to be troublesome, the Tianyu clan's 9th rank powerhouse furrowed his brows. An existence that had comprehended the complete space rules was far more troublesome than an invincible 8th layer. With a higher level of understanding of space, those who had comprehended the complete space rules could completely make a mockery out of a group of invincible 8th layers by using layers upon layers of spatial layers to exile each invincible 8th layer into the depths of the void. What's more, the Galaxy Master was not just someone who had comprehended the complete space rules. In this war, our clan must win. The Tianyu clan's 9th rank expert immediately started contacting the clan's powerhouses. Solanti, you're holding a 9th rank defensive treasure, come over. The Tianyu clan's 9th rank expert used his own location as the coordinate, summoning a Tianyu clan powerhouse from the old Nest Star domain of the Tianyu clan. Solanti, one of the top 10 geniuses of the current era of the Tianyu clan, had a 50% chance of stepping into the 9th rank. In just 10,000 years he had understood a high-level cosmic force, and also delved deeply into his own bloodline talent, mastering 3 kinds of bloodline talents. The Tianyu clan's 9th rank didn't hope for Solanti to defeat the Galaxy Master. As long as he could hold him off, or entangle part of the Galaxy Master's attention, that would suffice. As long as the Galaxy Master couldn't unscrupulously act against the Tianyu clan's invincible 8th layers, then the Tianyu clan still had a chance to win this war. On the side of human civilization, within the numerous spatial layers, a 9th rank evolver was also incredibly surprised as he observed Lin Yuan. His name was Xilan, a 9th rank evolver stationed by human civilization at this battlefield. He actually comprehended the complete space rules? Xilan blinked his eyes. It had taken him thousands of years to comprehend the complete space rules. These thousands of years were after stepping into the 9th rank. Xilan, from his lofty position, found it much easier to comprehend space rules compared to an 8th rank evolver. This little guy, Xilan was at a loss for words for a moment. Anyone who could become a 9th rank was a proud figure of his generation, but now compared to the Galaxy Master, he felt he had lived these years in vain. The talent and aptitude of the Galaxy Master are even beyond what the rumors suggested. Such a treasure must be well protected. Xilan immediately spirited himself up, preventing the Tianyu clan's 9th rank powerhouses from making a desperate move. Even if the present Galaxy Master was just an avatar, weren't there methods to affect the original body through the avatar? Shilon had already placed the importance of the Galaxy Master above the outcome of the war in his heart. The war with the Tianyu clan could be lost, but the Galaxy Master absolutely must not come to harm. If necessary, he would tear apart the unspoken rules just to ensure the Galaxy Master was safe. In the middle of the battlefield, Lin Yuan was checking the contents of the Six-Winged Elder's space bracelet. Really poor. Lin Yuan shook his head slightly. There was nothing of much value in the bracelet. All put together would probably amount to a few thousand cubic universe crystals. This was quite normal. The invincible of the 8th layers who dared to come to the battlefield were mostly prepared to die. Naturally, they wouldn't carry valuable treasures on them. But this space secret treasure should be quite valuable. Lin Yuan glanced at the silver-white cubic object beside him. This secret treasure was the Tianyu clan's trump card against the war to prevent human civilization from deploying a 9th-tier secret treasure. The result ended up in Lin Yuan's hands. Just then, a Tianyu clan powerhouse with 8 pairs of wings on his back wearing a purple armor appeared on the battlefield following spatial fluctuations. My name is Solanti, Galaxy Master. Your opponent is me. As soon as Solanti appeared, the many invincible 8th layers of the Tianyu clan, who had been in chaos, felt a bit more settled in their hearts. Solanti was one of the top 10 geniuses below the 9th rank of the Tianyu clan, much stronger than the previous 6-winged elder. And the purple armor Solanti was wearing emitted profound and distant fluctuations, obviously a 9th rank defensive treasure. With Solanti's strength, plus a 9th rank defensive treasure, even if the Galaxy Master had comprehended the complete space rules, dealing with him wouldn't be easy. Chapter 526 Massacre, subscription requested. Why did the 6-winged elder so easily fall into the hands of the Galaxy Master? It was entirely because his spatial secret treasure was countered by heaven. Before this, who knew that the Galaxy Master had fully grasped the complete space rules? Had the 6-winged elder known in advance, he definitely wouldn't have used that silver-white cubic artifact. On the battlefield, Lin Yuan looked at Solanti, who had 8 pairs of wings. A 9th rank defensive treasure? Lin Yuan's eyes lit up slightly, recognizing it as a valuable item, no less significant than the spatial treasure, fashioned by a 9th-tier powerhouse after much effort. Galaxy Master. Solanti felt immense pressure. I am one of the 10 strongest 8th layer members of the Tianyu clan, possessing 3 types of bloodline talents, and now I even wield a 9th-tier secret treasure. I feel I have the capability to kill an unparalleled 8th layer. Solanti's thoughts shifted, gradually restoring his confidence. How powerful could the Galaxy Master be? He wasn't aiming to defeat the Galaxy Master after all. Just stall him. Stalling would suffice. Make your move. Otherwise, you'll lose your chance soon. Lin Yuan sized up Solanti and then spoke. Letting the opponent strike first wasn't out of arrogance on Lin Yuan's part. He wanted to assess the methods at the disposal of the other party to see if they could be integrated into his own martial Tao cultivation system. Becoming stronger through battle epitomized someone like Lin Yuan with incredible comprehension, someone who could even turn an enemy into nourishment for himself. Good. Solanti's thoughts flickered, and within hundreds of millions of miles around him, endless thunderbolts appeared in all directions. The thunderbolts moved swiftly, permeating numerous spatial layers, forming a vast thunderclap defense around him. A small portion of the thunderclaps targeted the Galaxy Master. With the earlier warning from the 6-winged elder, Solanti focused mainly on defense without hoping his attacks would affect the Galaxy Master. Not a bad use of the thunderclap rules. Lin Yuan nodded slightly. Thunderclap rules, while not a foundational rule, were particularly potent in terms of destructive power. Go! Lin Yuan alone stimulated the power to annihilate, entwining it with Solanti's thunderbolt power. The two forces were locked in a stalemate. Although Lin Yuan had the upper hand, it was clear that he wouldn't be able to defeat Solanti quickly. With the 9th-rank defensive treasure, the Galaxy Master's attacks couldn't harm Solanti. I managed to hold back the Galaxy Master? Solanti rejoiced inwardly, putting even more effort into his actions. We've finally restrained the Galaxy Master. The 9th-rank powerhouse from the Tianyu clan also watched. But this Galaxy Master's rate of growth will definitely become a major threat to our clan eventually. The gaze of the Tianyu clan 9th rank powerhouse was somber. The current Galaxy Master already had the capability to decide the outcome of mid-sized battlefields. What about later, once he had fully matured? Wouldn't he be able to influence large-scale battlefields? Haha, worthy of one of our 10 greatest 8th layer prodigies, what can the Galaxy Master do after all? Still, the Galaxy Master is too strong, pressing hard on Master Solani. If it weren't for that 9th tier treasure, regardless, at least we don't have to face the Galaxy Master directly. One after another, the invincible 8th layers of the Tianyu clan breathed a sigh of relief, conversing among themselves. It's about time. After entangling with Solanti for a while, Lin Yuan ultimately prevailed with a slightly superior soul attack, crushing his opponent's soul. 9th rank defensive treasure. Upon Solanti's death, that 9th rank defensive treasure naturally fell into Lin Yuan's hands. Didn't expect the Galaxy Master to excel in soul attacks? The Tianyu clan 9th rank powerhouse pondered, then contacted his clan. Balak, you hold a 9th rank soul defense treasure, come to the battlefield. Balak too was among the strongest 10 8th layers of this era in the Tianyu clan, surpassing Solanti in direct combat strength. If Solanti could hold the Galaxy Master for that long, then Balak, carrying the 9th rank soul defense treasure and specially targeting the Galaxy Master, should surely be able to bind him thoroughly, gaining a substantial amount of time for the Tianyu clan's warfare. Galaxy Master. Balak was bulky, very different from the typically slender members of the Tianyu clan, yet exuded an extremely terrifying aura. I have a 9th rank soul defense artifact. Your soul attacks are futile against me, Balak remarked, though his words seemed more to bolster his own courage than to address Lin Yuan. Half an hour later, after a lengthy struggle with Balak, Lin Yuan finally crushed his opponent on a physical level. Upon Balak's death, the 9th rank soul defense artifact likewise fell into Lin Yuan's hands. The Galaxy Master's physical attacks are fearsome too? The Tianyu clan 9th rank powerhouse fell into contemplation. Jera, you carry. The Tianyu clan 9th rank powerhouse continued to contact the clan, deploying another among the top 10 prodigious 8th layers. Suddenly, 2 or 3 hours passed. 6 of the Tianyu clan's top 10 geniuses had already died at the hands of Lin Yuan. These 6 invincible 8th layer geniuses of the Tianyu clan all wielded 9th tier secret treasures specifically targeting the Galaxy Master, yet they ultimately died a difficult death at the hands of the Galaxy Master. Something's off. The eyes of the Tianyu clan's 9th rank powerhouse narrowed. Every time a Tianyu clan 8th layer genius wielding a 9th tier secret treasure fought, they all narrowly died at the hands of the Galaxy Master. If it had happened once or twice, it could be a coincidence. But for this scenario to happen 6 times in a row? This Galaxy Master? Is he deliberately hiding his strength? The Tianyu clan's 9th rank powerhouse regained his composure. To deceive my clan's 9th tier secret treasures? How shameless! Feelings of anger surged within the heart of the Tianyu clan's 9th rank powerhouse. As far as the overall resources of the Tianyu clan were concerned, 7 or 8 9th tier secret treasures were not a big deal. But for an individual, even for a 9th rank powerhouse like him, 7 or 8 9th tier secret treasures surpassed all his possessions. And now, this wealth, enough to make any ordinary 9th rank powerhouse envious, had all been handed to the Galaxy Master? No need to keep people entangled with the Galaxy Master any longer. Abandon battlefield B0001, retreat with all your strength. Just then, a voice resonated next to the ear of the Tianyu clan's 9th rank powerhouse. My clan's think tank. The expression of the Tianyu clan's 9th rank powerhouse slightly changed. The voice he heard was indeed from a member of the Tianyu clan's think tank. And for the think tank to make such a decision, there was only one possibility. That was, according to the analysis and predictions of the think tank, the Tianyu clan had no chance of winning the war. Galaxy Master. The Tianyu clan's 9th rank powerhouse looked again toward the Galaxy Master. The war had just started, and the Tianyu clan's think tank had predicted an 80% chance of victory in this war. But now, To actually retreat was tantamount to admitting certain defeat. The only difference in the meantime was the involvement of the Galaxy Master in the battlefield. Full retreat. The Tianyu clan's 9th-rank powerhouse immediately began relaying his orders. In the medium-sized battlefield, 9th-rank powerhouses were not allowed to interfere in the war, but this prohibition meant no direct or personal interference. Merely issuing a retreat order still fell within the allowed rules. On the battlefield, many 8th-layer invincibles of the Tianyu clan watched their brethren, after intense struggles, die at the hands of the Galaxy Master, feeling a surge of unwillingness in their hearts. If they carried one more 9th-tier secret treasure, they might have been able to hold on a bit longer. Right, I noticed the Galaxy Master was starting to struggle. Indeed, it was just a bit off. One by one, the 8th-layer invincibles of the Tianyu clan quietly exchanged their views. Suddenly, a cold voice resonated in the ears of all the 8th-layer invincibles. Full retreat. This command immediately caused the expressions of several 8th-layer invincibles to change dramatically. They recognized the voice. It came from that 9th-rank powerhouse of the Tianyu clan who was in charge of this war. Retreat. We are all retreating? Our clan sees no hope of winning? Though the 8th-layer invincibles of the Tianyu clan were puzzled, being on the battlefield meant they had to follow commands, especially those from a fellow clan 9th-rank powerhouse. Within an instant, one by one, the 8th-layer invincibles began to frantically retreat towards the back. High above, Lin Yuan waited for a moment and did not see another 9th-tier secret treasure-wielding Tianyu clan powerhouse appear. He also noticed the frenzied retreat of the Tianyu clan's 8th-layer invincibles. Did they notice? Lin Yuan sighed inwardly. Ever since the second 9th-tier secret treasure-wielding clan genius was sent from the Tianyu side, an idea had formed in Lin Yuan's mind to deliberately suppress his strength, to lead the Tianyu clan to believe they had a chance of stalling him. To keep up the ruse for just a while and waste half an hour would result in gaining a 9th-tier secret treasure worth hundreds of thousands of cosmic crystals. Such a trade was too worthwhile. But unfortunately, the response from the Tianyu clan was quick. Upon sensing something was amiss, they immediately gave up on the war and ordered all 8th-layer invincibles to retreat. Since that's the case, Lin Yuan looked towards the many frantically fleeing 8th-layer invincibles of the Tianyu clan. Then I shall start a killing spree. Chapter 527 Influencing the Battlefields of Different Races. Please subscribe. For Lin Yuan, spending nearly half an hour to kill the 10 most talented Tianyu clan members at the 8th layer, each holding a 9th-tier secret treasure, was the result of him holding back his full strength. Even during that time, he was very careful, fearing that he might crush his opponents prematurely. However, those watching evolvers of human civilization at the unbeatable 8th layer were struck to the core with shock. The Galaxy Master has killed another unbeatable 8th layer being with a 9th-tier secret treasure? And this unbeatable 8th layer was one of the 10 strongest 8th layer beings of the Tianyu clan? Evolvers at the unbeatable 8th layer exclaimed in astonishment. Even amongst the unbeatable of the 8th layer, there are levels of strength. The unbeatable evolvers that the Tianyu clan sent out were, without a doubt, among the very best, and they even held 9th-tier secret treasures? And yet they were killed one by the Galaxy Master? How incredible is this? Truly worthy of being the Galaxy Master. The Baiyun Lord was exhilarated as Lin Yuan, with his own power, ground the Tianyu clan into the dust at the top tier of combat strength. This greatly boosted the morale of their side. Under these circumstances, the Baiyun Lord was confident they wouldn't lose the war. Now is the time, launch the counterattack immediately. Just as the Baiyun Lord was about to command the many unbeatable evolvers of the 8th layer, he saw something unthinkable. In the distance, the unbeatable Tianyu clan members, as if frightened by something, began retreating towards the back. What? The Baiyun Lord was a bit dumbfounded. He couldn't understand why the Tianyu clan would retreat en masse. This meant that they had given up the battlefield completely, renouncing the war. Why was this? Although the Galaxy Master was very strong, he wasn't extraordinarily so. He had even spent a good half hour, and the Tianyu clan could have sent more unbeatable evolvers of the 8th layer to restrain him. Why withdraw directly? The Baiyun Lord could not comprehend it. The unbeatable evolvers of human civilization at the 8th layer also could not understand. However, at this moment, Lin Yuan, standing in the sky above the battlefield, vanished without a trace. In the depths of the heavy spatial layers, the countenance of that 9th-rank Tianyu clan powerhouse suddenly changed drastically. Not good. The 9th-rank powerhouse wanted to act, but in the end, restrained himself. The next moment, Lin Yuan appeared above the heads of the fleeing Tianyu clan's unbeatable 8th layer members. Die! With just a thought from Lin Yuan, the power that merged space rules with the many cosmic forces swept out. This power was not fully formed, just halfway merged, but it could still be used with some effort. The invisible merged power swept across all directions, making the unbeatable evolvers of the Tianyu clan, as fragile as thin paper, disintegrate into powder. No, a few of the Tianyu clan's unbeatable 8th layer beings who had escaped some distance showed terror on their faces, followed by the sweeping power of the invisible force, disintegrating them as well. In just a few breaths, the dozens of Tianyu clan's unbeatable 8th layer members, who had scattered and fled, all fell and died. Although these unbeatable 8th layers still have their original bodies and haven't died completely, forming an avatar with strength close to the original is no easy feat. It can be anticipated that for a long time to come, these unbeatable Tianyu clan members at the 8th layer will not be able to support other battlefields. Space bracelets. Lin Yuan lifted his right hand, and the numerous spatial storage treasures of those Tianyu clan unbeatable 8th layer members all fell into his hands. Even though these unbeatable 8th layers wouldn't carry excessively precious treasures on them, they would at least carry weapon treasures of the 8th layer to ensure the strength of their avatars. The value of these weapon treasures, though not high individually, together constitute a considerable fortune, no less than 200,000 cubic universe crystals. This, in the territory of the Tianyu clan, the original bodies of the unbeatable 8th layer members opened their eyes, having just lost their avatars, and now, their expressions were filled with shock. How could this be? That Galaxy Master, his strength is too terrifying. 9th rank, it must be 9th rank. Human civilization has violated the rules, employing a 9th rank evolver. It shouldn't be 9th rank, otherwise, our 9th rank would have acted long ago. However, the Galaxy Master, even if not 9th rank, must have exceeded the 9th rank threshold, or he wouldn't be able to crush us like this. The hearts of the many unbeatable 8th layer members of the Tianyu clan trembled. A strong person at the beginning of 9th rank, who has yet to fathom the complete space rules, would find it hard to kill an unbeatable 8th layer. Yet, the Galaxy Master was able to sweep away a group of unbeatable 8th layers, and easily kill them, showing that his combat strength was incomparable to ordinary 9th rank strong individuals. That Galaxy Master has been hiding his true strength all along. Now, I finally understand why our 9th rank ordered a retreat. Human civilization really is favored by the cosmos, having given birth to a freak like the Galaxy Master. The unbeatable 8th layer members of the Tianyu clan spoke with complex tones, feeling fear, panic, awe, and a tinge of admiration towards Lin Yuan. With the body of 8th layer, he unleashed the combat power of 9th rank. Although they didn't know how the Galaxy Master achieved this, from an evolutionary perspective, he was undoubtedly ahead of them. Not just ahead, but far surpassing all 8th layer beings of this generation. Unprecedented in history, among the 10,000 races of the cosmic starry sky, including those few peak clans, all 8th layer beings of this generation seem exceedingly trivial in front of the Galaxy Master. On the side of humanity, all the evolvers watched the unbeatable Tianyu clan members at the 8th layer disintegrate under Lin Yuan's feet. They fell into an unconscious silence. The spectacle before them was too stimulating. Lin Yuan had spent half an hour killing each of those Tianyu clan prodigies who held a 9th-tier secret treasure. Chapter 528 Influencing the Battlefields of Different Races. Please subscribe. _2 The excitement had already engulfed numerous human evolvers, but now, for the Galaxy Master, killing those of the 8th layer was as easy as slaughtering chickens. No, it was easier than slaughtering chickens, for chickens at least struggle a bit before dying, but those of the Tianyu clan at the 8th layer couldn't even struggle before they perished. The human evolvers had contemplated winning the war against the Tianyu clan under the leadership of the Galaxy Master, but that would inevitably require a hard-fought battle, and even result in the deaths of a few human 8th layer evolvers. And now? Had the Galaxy Master solved everything? From beginning to end, apart from the Baiyun Lord who had taken action, these 8th layer evolvers were just like ornaments, merely watching from behind. Galaxy Master. The invincible Galaxy Master. All the 8th layer beings had become utterly fanatical. They had never seen an 8th layer being so powerful that they could battle those of the 9th rank, a rarity for human civilization's evolvers. Human civilization had a vast population with individuals, on average, at the bottom in terms of talent among the peak clans, although prodigies occasionally emerged. However, members of other powerful peak clans could also produce prodigious talents. Throughout the 2 million years of the Starry Sea era, the greatest prodigies born of human civilization, compared to the strongest prodigies of the same rank from other peak clans, always had minor differences, with only a few achieving parity. But now, the Galaxy Master, although at the 8th layer, had left other 8th layer beings from the peak clans far behind. Deep within the layers of space, a 9th rank member of the Tianyu clan glared at Lin Yuan, the murderous intent in his eyes nearly spilling out. At this moment, the strength displayed by the Galaxy Master was so terrifying that even he felt a tingling scalp. Such a peerless genius living another day would mean colossal future losses for the Tianyu clan. Ancestor. The 9th rank Tianyu being immediately began contacting their clan's ancestor. The Tianyu clan, along with human civilization and the insect race, belonged to the peak clans that stood at the pinnacle of the universe, overseeing the myriad clans. The Tianyu clan had 7 ancestors, each a supreme being, who mostly stayed out of affairs. However, at this moment, the 9th rank Tianyu being deemed it necessary to inform the ancestor about the Galaxy Master. Before long, the ancestor's response reached his mind. There are supreme beings from human civilization looking this way. The 9th rank Tianyu being was slightly stunned, realizing he couldn't do anything to the Galaxy Master. Even if the ancestors intervened, the human-side supreme beings would also act, and instead of eliminating the Galaxy Master, it would only escalate the intensity of the war. Elsewhere, in the depths of the heavy spatial layers, the human 9th rank evolver, Xilan, looked anxious, having also contacted a supreme being in advance. After Lin Yuan had killed dozens of Tianyu clan 8th layer beings in a few breaths, he realized the seriousness of the situation. The talent of the Galaxy Master far exceeded expectations. Relying solely on a single 9th rank would hardly curb the murderous intent of the Tianyu clan, so he had directly contacted a supreme being. The response from the supreme being was, they had been watching all along and advised him not to panic. It seems that the terrifying talent of the Galaxy Master had already caught the attention of a few supreme beings from our human civilization, Xilan thought to himself. Under normal circumstances, even if a supreme being took note of this ancient exotic battlefield, they would only divert an insignificant part of their consciousness. But just now, the tone of the supreme being's response seemed as if they were also watching the battle. Whoosh! Lin Yuan's figure disappeared again. He appeared next to the human 8th layer beings. Well, leave the cleanup to you guys, Lin Yuan said, looking at the Baiyun Lord. I'll be taking my leave. Thank you, Galaxy Master, Baiyun Lord and the other 8th layer beings said excitedly and spiritedly, the youngest of them nearly 100,000 years old, yet they all looked up to Lin Yuan, even feeling a sense of pride. Galaxy Master, surely your strength has already surpassed many of the 9th rank, hasn't it? Baiyun Lord couldn't help but exclaim. Surpassed the 9th rank? Lin Yuan smiled faintly. The power of the Taiji primordial spirit indeed surpassed that of ordinary 9th ranks, but Lin Yuan's strongest combat power still lay in his true body. An inner world spanning over 100 million miles in radius, the enhancement of power was entirely transformative. Everyone, wrap things up, Lin Yuan said casually. Having lost dozens of 8th layer titans, It was absolutely impossible for the Tianyu clan to continue sending reinforcements to this battlefield. Continue sending reinforcements? Just so Lin Yuan could keep killing them? The Tianyu clan had robust resources. Losing dozens of 8th-layer titans didn't have a significant impact, but that didn't mean they were fools. The combat power Lin Yuan had displayed now was completely exceptional. Even if more 8th-layer titans came, they were destined to die. With this in mind, it was better to give up on battlefield B0001 and minimize the losses. Whoosh! Lin Yuan stayed put, quickly taking control of the situation as the human evolvers took over, confirming that the Tianyu clan had lost any interest in this battlefield before he disappeared soundlessly. Lin Yuan wreaked havoc in the B0001 exotic battlefield, killing dozens of 8th-layer titans, including 6 of the strongest 8th-layer beings of the Tianyu clan. This news spread like a hurricane to other battlefields. The different species residing in numerous medium-sized battlefields grew fearful, knowing that Lin Yuan, having appeared in battlefield B0001, could also descend upon their own battlefields. With the Galaxy Master's ability to annihilate dozens of 8th-layer titans, wouldn't his arrival on other exotic battlefields be completely overwhelming? Who could withstand the Galaxy Master? Suddenly, great pressure mounted on the major clans. Under pressing circumstances, the different species' strategies on the battlefields began to shrink. Unless absolutely necessary, they wouldn't lightly leave their strongholds. The human civilization evolvers on all battlefields immediately felt their pressure decrease dramatically, turning the tide of the battle. Even several peak clans secretly bestowed 10th-rank secret treasures, all to prevent the arrival of the Galaxy Master. Since human civilization began its expansion, no 8th-layer being had ever managed, with their own power, to influence all medium-sized and small-sized exotic battlefields, causing the many different species to tremble and preemptively change their strategies. This was something only a supreme being could accomplish. After making his move, Lin Yuan returned to that 30,000-meter long permanent spatial rift to continue accumulating world-breaking origin force. It's a pity, this kind of sweeping through a battlefield can only be done once. The second time the risk will increase dramatically, Lin Yuan sighed. This time, he had successfully breached the B0001 exotic battlefield, catching the Tianyu clan completely off guard. The Tianyu clan had never anticipated that Lin Yuan's power was so fearsome that he could kill 8th-layer titans with ease. But after this experience, the different species on other battlefields became cautious, surely setting traps in anticipation of Lin Yuan. Perhaps 10th-rank secret treasures? Or other one-time treasures capable of unleashing terrifying potential. 10th-rank secret treasures, even in the hands of an 8th-layer titan, couldn't unleash 1% of their potential. But they could still pose a threat to Lin Yuan. Those were killing weapons of 10th-rank powers. This should be enough. With precautions against my arrival, the different species on those battlefields will have to be cautious for the time being, which will also alleviate some of the pressure on human evolvers, Lin Yuan thought secretly. His influence on other battlefields was entirely a trick, exploiting the rule that medium-sized exotic battlefields only allowed 8th-layer beings to act. To truly influence the situation, to affect the other peak clans, one had to become a supreme being to achieve that. Milky Way main star. Lin Yuan's Taiyin primordial spirit rushed over, bringing all the spoils from battlefield B0001. The Taiyang divine spirit stayed by that 30,000-meter long permanent spatial rift to maintain an accumulation efficiency of world-breaking origin force for 150 days. As for the Taiyin primordial spirit, it was free to deliver spoils to Lin Yuan. Big win. A smile appeared on Lin Yuan's face, only he knew how great his gains were. The goddess of freedom has already settled 10% of the total merit? The merit points are already in my account? Before Lin Yuan even tallied the spoils in his possession, he received another piece of good news. I wonder how many merit points it is. Lin Yuan, with an expectant look, immediately checked. Chapter 529 Class 8 Citizen. Please subscribe. Battlefield B0001, where human civilization and the Tianyu clan, two peak clans, clashed. Although the scale of forces each side committed was not large, that was in comparison to large-scale battlefields. The total merit points awarded for a single war in the entire battlefield, even just 1/10 of that, represented a tremendous number. It was enough to have those high and mighty evolving scholars sell their lives for tens or even hundreds of thousands of years. 27 million merit points. Lin Yuan confirmed the amount of merit points that had just been credited to his account, and a smile spread across his face. This figure perfectly matched Lin Yuan's expectations and even exceeded them by much. You should know, Lin Yuan's complete formulation of the 8th layer part of martial Tao only received a merit point award of 22 million from the judgment of the 3 goddesses. Admittedly, whether it's the 8th layer part of martial Tao or the 1st tier chapter, 2nd layer chapter, even if Lin Yuan uploaded them, the ownership still belonged to him. The human civilization's official functions akin to an intermediary, and in the end, they still had to share the profits with Lin Yuan. But an income of nearly 30 million merit points was definitely a hefty profit. This is war wealth. Lin Yuan thought to himself that in times of peace, accumulating so many merit points would be an incredibly difficult task. But now, he had achieved it with just a single war. Of course, Lin Yuan also knew that even on battlefields of different races, getting so many merit points was something that couldn't be sought after. You first had to experience a war intense enough, and to come out victorious in the war. If humanity had been defeated or reached a stalemate in this war with the Tianyu clan, the merit points Lin Yuan would have received would have been nowhere near 27 million. Secondly, it was dividing the total merit points like Lin Yuan did. Lin Yuan had this privilege, but the other unbeatable figures of the 8th layer didn't have this qualification. Most of them, in this war, reached the limit by gaining 100,000 or 200,000 merit points. A sufficiently intense war often lasted for decades or even centuries. The Tianyu clan had already been skirmishing with human evolvers for over 100 years before they decided to start a full-scale war. Apart from merit points, there are also those 8 9th-tier secret treasures, as well as 1 spatial secret treasure. Lin Yuan raised his right hand. 9 palm-sized weapons floated in front of him, slowly rotating and emanating terrifying auras. Lin Yuan intentionally held back his strength, luring the Tianyu clan to send over one after another of their 8th layer beings wielding 9th-tier secret treasures. The Tianyu clan looked foolish. But in reality, this was under the circumstance of them not knowing Lin Yuan's true strength. Before Lin Yuan broke through the battlefield, even the peak clans could not have imagined there could be such a powerful 8th layer being. Slaying unbeatable warriors of the 8th layer like slaughtering chickens, boasting combat power that surpasses ordinary 9th rank beings. The battlefield watched by strong figures of the 2 peak clans on both sides, unable to directly determine Lin Yuan's true strength, could only dispatch their warriors to probe him. As for why not send them all out at once? Lin Yuan's advantage was not very big every time he took action. Who starts off revealing all their cards? In fact, even if they were sent out together, it would not affect the outcome. With Lin Yuan's current strength, even just an avatar at the 8th layer level was an insurmountable existence. These 9 secret treasures, on average each one values from 500,000 to 1 million cubic universe crystals. Put together they won't be less than 4,500,000 cubic universe crystals. At most, they're worth 9 million cubic universe crystals. Lin Yuan made a rough estimate, and a smile spread across his face uncontrollably. Having just finished his 8th traversal, Lin Yuan had been worrying about the expensive 80,000 cubic universe crystals for a Tai microclear crystal, but not long after, he possessed a wealth of several million to tens of millions of cubic universe crystals. Such a sum of universe crystals would also count as rich even among 9th rank powers. My current merit points should be enough to upgrade to a 7th level citizen. Lin Yuan suddenly thought. A 7th level citizen upgrading to an 8th level citizen requires 50 million merit points. Lin Yuan was awarded 22 million merit points for uploading the 8th stage martial Tao, and with the previous remaining points, he had a total of 26 million merit points. Now add the just credited 27 million merit points. The total amount of Lin Yuan's merit points reached an astonishing 53 million. Let's upgrade to 8th level citizen. Without hesitation, Lin Yuan contacted the Goddess of Wisdom to upgrade his citizen level. Every promotion of citizen level has to occur under the watch of the Goddess of Wisdom, mainly to ensure that the citizen's acquisition of merit points is lawful and compliant. Respected Scholar Yuan, your citizen level has been elevated to 8th level. The formal and cool voice of the Goddess of Wisdom came through. 8th level citizen. Lin Yuan glanced at the citizen level column, which had changed from 7 to 8. For an 8th level citizen, it's a qualitative change. Often during the same era, a star alliance governing hundreds or even thousands of star domains would only have 3 or 4 8th level citizens. In fact, many evolving scholars had not reached the 8th layer level. 50 million merit points are too difficult to obtain, requiring them to continuously develop results that push human development forward. Even if not limited to the evolution path, but after over 200,000 years of the evolving scholars forging ahead, such methods of acquiring merit points have become increasingly difficult. Privileges of an 8th level citizen. At the moment Lin Yuan was upgraded to an 8th level citizen, from the central star domain of human civilization, numerous emails arrived. Besides congratulations, they were introductions to the benefits and privileges of an 8th level citizen. Compared to a 7th level citizen, the many benefits and privileges of an 8th level citizen had undoubtedly received a great degree of enhancement. Chapter 5 30 Class 8 Citizen, please subscribe. _2 First and foremost was the 8th rank evolution elixir, which could forcibly elevate a 7th rank evolver to the 8th rank. Although it only provided the basic destructive power of the 8th rank, it was far inferior to those who had opened their inner world and experienced the heart demon tribulation, achieving perfection. These forcibly promoted 8th rank evolvers could not even beat some of the 7th rank peak evolvers. But at least their lifespan was not worse than that of the normal 8th rank evolvers. This was also something that the officials of human civilization hoped for. As long as an 8th level citizen was alive, they could potentially create immense value for human civilization. As for combat power, human civilization had not yet fallen to the point where it needed 8th level citizens to protect the continuation of the species. What were all those evolvers and star lords for? Automatically become the chief counselor of the North Cold Star Alliance? Lin Yuan glanced at one of the privileges of an 8th level citizen. The North Cold Star Alliance was the current star alliance in the Milky Way star region, a newly established alliance that encompassed 1,335 star domains. The chief counselor was the highest-ranking person in a star alliance. Although unable to directly command the various star lords within the alliance, their influence over the star domains within the alliance was immense. They could even impeach or reassign a star lord based on their actions. Currently, the North Cold Star Alliance, being a nascent star alliance, had not yet had a chief counselor, which made Lin Yuan the de facto first chief counselor. Which meant that Lin Yuan was now, without a doubt, the highest-ranking person in the North Cold Star Alliance. Especially in this fringe Starfield Star Alliance, where the divisions of the major star domains were not yet stabilized, the powers of the chief counselor were immensely terrifying. Respected 8th level citizen Lin Yuan, scholar, would you like to keep the identity of chief counselor hidden? The solemn, cold voice of the Goddess of Wisdom rang out. The names of counselors in each star alliance would be listed on the council member list, and the name of the chief counselor would likewise appear on an even higher level list. Hide it. Lin Yuan nodded. Revealing his identity as chief counselor held only disadvantages and no advantages for him. After all, he would still enjoy all the rights associated with the position. An 8th level citizen can also establish an evolver family with the human prefix. Lin Yuan continued to browse the privileges of an 8th level citizen and was suddenly shocked when he saw this. Evolver families in human civilization were countless, with many being established and disappearing every day. However, evolver families that could add the prefix human were exceedingly rare and almost never vanished. Evolver families with the human prefix were under the protection of the entire human civilization and would coexist with human civilization unless they committed acts of treason. All evolver families aimed to have the human prefix as their highest goal. It was an unprecedented honor. I hadn't expected that becoming an 8th-rank citizen could qualify one for this. Lin Yuan was amazed internally. The many privileges and benefits of being a high-ranking 8th-level citizen were protected by high-level secrecy. One would not know what privileges were available until reaching that level. Human prefix evolver family. Lin Yuan's thoughts wandered. For instance, if he were now to establish an evolver family, it could be named Human the Lin family. Members of an evolver family with the human prefix could enjoy the favoritism of the 3 goddesses and a certain degree of resource predilection. Other privileges. Lin Yuan steadied his mind and continued reading. The privileges and benefits owned by an 8th-level citizen were many and were enhanced versions of those available to 7th-level citizens, such as having a guard troops comprised entirely of 7th-rank evolvers. 8th-level citizens, however, were entitled to a guard troops made up of 8th-rank evolvers. But this aspect was of no significance to Lin Yuan. A guard troops comprised of 8th-rank evolvers? With Lin Yuan's current strength, he could easily kill invincible beings of the 8th layer, let alone ordinary 8th-rank evolvers. Virtual world, a mysterious space. Shadows of 5 supreme beings, including Xiaoqin Supreme Being, Ancient Power Supreme Being, and Feather Butterfly Supreme Being, appeared, sitting regally on a grand main seat. Heh, those Tianyu clan fools still want to take the opportunity to strike at us humans, Xiaoqin Supreme Being sneered. As both human civilization and the Tianyu clan were peak clans, their supreme beings, including ancestors, had clashed, and Xiaoqin Supreme Being held them in contempt. Because those bird people never dared to fight him head-on, always utilizing their evolution path's authority to engage in hit-and-run tactics. The Tianyu clan really took a hit this time. Feather Butterfly Supreme Being said with a light laugh. Everything that had happened on battlefield B0001 was in their sight. They were even speculating whether the ancestors of the Tianyu clan, anguished and enraged, would disregard the risks and enter the fray themselves. Lin Yuan had deliberately shown weakness, allowing the Tianyu clan geniuses to come to him seeking their own deaths. Even though these geniuses were just avatars, they had completely lost face. Especially for a supreme being, looking down upon the cosmic starry skies, fearless and invincible, there aren't many things they care about, but their own face is definitely among them. When kinfolk get pinned down and slaughtered by human youngsters, isn't that a disgrace? However, speaking of which, the Galaxy Master, that little one, is indeed unreasonably strong. Apart from those extremely rare, even unique life forms, can our human civilization's evolvers also press down from the 8th layer to the 9th layer? The Ancient Power Supreme Being couldn't help saying. Although he himself is a supreme being, upon introspection, he admitted that his combat power when at the 8th layer was absolutely nowhere close to that of Lin Yuan. Let me take a look. The Xiaoqin Supreme Being looked forward, as scenes of Lin Yuan in action on the battlefield appeared one after another. Understanding the complete space rules, and halfway through the fusion rules, yet the merged power is indeed excessively strong. The Xiaoqin Supreme Being nodded slightly. Even though he knew Lin Yuan had grasped 3 types of higher cosmic forces and the complete space rules, and their fusion was bound to be unusually powerful, wasn't this a bit too much? Perhaps it's because this youngster has opened a special path of evolution? The Feather Butterfly Supreme Being said with a smile, but isn't it a good thing that this youngster is becoming stronger? If our human civilization can produce such a genius, it will only become stronger in the future. That's true. The Xiaoqin Supreme Being and the Ancient Power Supreme Being nodded slightly. Only in this way human civilization could flourish forever. Right. The time is almost up, isn't that cosmic secret realm about to open? The Feather Butterfly Supreme Being suddenly said. That cosmic secret realm. The Xiaoqin Supreme Being frowned. A so-called cosmic secret realm is essentially a small world dependent on the main world. They were originally hidden deep within multiple spatial layers, but due to some reason, they made contact with the main spatial layer. The Black Abyss clan from the Insect Race Alliance, for example, originated from the Heiyuan secret realm. The spatial layer where the Heiyuan secret realm was located formed a conduit with the universe's main space layer, and the insect race's supreme beings joined forces to forcibly drag the Heiyuan's secret realm into the main space. This was how the Black Abyss clan came to be. The last time that cosmic secret realm opened was 200,000 years ago. I remember our human civilization suffered a lot, the ancient power supreme being said, but we also gained a lot. The feather butterfly supreme being replied. Milky Way main star. Lin Yuan was fully immersed in comprehending the chaos crystal. This treasure, accidentally obtained by the demonic Jade Tower Master, was greatly significant for Lin Yuan's fusion rules. Even though the chaos crystal did not contain the space rules or Taiji rules, or many demonstrations of cosmic forces merging, seeing other rule mergers, especially the fusion between foundational and pivotal rules, deeply moved Lin Yuan. To extrapolate 1 to 10. To extrapolate 1 to 100. Once the space rules completely merge with the Taiji rules, as well as numerous cosmic forces, a tremendous transformation will surely occur. By then, the power of the fused forces will undoubtedly be beyond what only merging halfway could achieve. While Lin Yuan was comprehending, he was simultaneously thinking about this realization. After the fusion had progressed more than halfway, Lin Yuan distinctly felt it becoming increasingly difficult. However, possessing against heaven's understanding, along with the chaos crystal, and occasionally revisiting void interpretation, Lin Yuan's fusion speed was still advancing at a pace unreachable for an ordinary 7th-rank peak evolver. This day, Lin Yuan was continuously attempting to fuse rules. Suddenly, Lin Yuan opened his eyes. The teacher is looking for me? After pondering for a while, Lin Yuan split a strand of consciousness, connected to the virtual world, to meet the Qikuan Star Lord. You're tuning in to the Wang Lin's Journey YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.